And it is working. Cool. I like that. Hopefully it is working. If for some reason it's not, please let me know so we can fix it. But we did a bunch of testing right beforehand and everything was good. So our audio should be all sorted out right now. And first order of business is to remind you guys of our wonderful partnership with RoleThis. They have been with us all this month, and they have been doing their World's Decks giveaways every single episode. However, tonight we have something special for you guys. So not only can you win a World's Deck, you can also win this wonderful, awesome box it comes in, and both variants of the Reckless deck, 1 and 2, and this box, which is as big as my face and is weird to open, has all of these expansions in it, along with the Apprentice pack. And yeah, it's just crazy. I could go through every single one of them. However, we do actually have a video up on our YouTube at youtube.com/RoleThis, where it'll show you guys all of that. Just look for the Reckless deck name in the videos, and you can see that. But Reckless deck is, in essence, the short version. They are a random generation card deck set for character creation and world building. They're phenomenal. I use them for our world and for any just generalized random characters that I want to come up with if I'm kind of getting stumped creatively. I'll just pull from the decks and bam, there we go. Tonight, the way to win that, which I actually need to edit something real quick on our stuff, but the way to win that is to head to the Gleam link that's in there, which is the one under !Reckless. If you head to that link, you will have a chance to get entered in by just clicking a bunch of things, you know, checking out our YouTube, checking out Reckless Deck's YouTube, Twitters, Instagrams, following us here on Twitch, and then it unlocks an extra bundle of entries where you can get entries for doing things like subscribing to us on Twitch and a bunch of other things. And there's so many things I've actually forgotten what we put in. But all of that can be yours, a $225 value, the complete set from Reckless Deck, which not only includes this stuff, also has prints, minis, and something else that I can't remember because there's just so much stuff. Check it out at their website, recklessdeck.com. It's the complete set, and that'll tell you everything that's in there. And then be sure to head to that Gleam link there in our chat and get yourself entered in for that. So real quick, switch over to make sure the giveaway exclamation point thing isn't there, because we're not doing that giveaway tonight. We're not giving away a single individual deck. We're giving away everything. So that's the thing you'll want to enter into. And I really do have to change that, so please bear with me here. Sorry about that. This is the unfortunate aspect of not actually having a production person anymore. Having to go through and do it all myself. But it is fixed. There we are. So, switching over here to everybody, while you guys take your opportunity to go and enter in, leaving us up in the background while we recap where we were. And it all worked. Awesome. I love it when that happens. So, recapping where you guys were last week, where we left off. You had, Kale, had a in-depth conversation with the being CERN and received a magical ring of weapon summoning, which conveniently I did not put in your inventory. I'm sorry.
Magical weapon of ring summoning.
We can use the general statistics of like standard stuff, and then there are like pluses to each thing. So in essence, your greatsword functions as your greatsword.
Yeah.
So you can use the same stuff on that. And along with that, Maze and Elandwar, along with Coral, met a new friend in the large troll Gorma, who as the novelization format, I just wrote that scene and finished it out, and he was quite enamored by the two of you overall. You more so than you, but as Elandor kept continually trying to get away from him.
I do have a quick question.
Yes.
Do the weapons that it produce, are they like +1, +2? Anything I want?
They are plus 400.
Well, no, I would keep it.
Hits,
I would keep it, but I would, everything would be vorpal.
Yeah. So there are actually So there are bonuses to the
Keen.
weapons summoned. For now, you can consider them +1s.
Okay.
I'm considering making them something a little bit more than that, but for now, consider them +1s and magical. Which magical should have been obvious since they just poof into the air out of existence.
Well, I mean, that's what +1 means.
Right. So
I'm just adding like one of everything right now for
perfect.
that. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Switching inventory is going to be a pain.
Yeah, and then I'll have the full thing in there though. And when I put the full thing in there, I'll just drop the other stuff you've got. So
Yeah, that works.
make life easier. But you guys then were all gathered together in a firestorm of teleportation done by CERN, dropped at the edge of the forest, finally escaping the dark forest here at the northern edge of the shifting forest. And you made your way over a rise to see the farmlands at the gates of the Cloudspire Mountains, leading you into the region of Dwevelhelm, which also houses the city of Dwevelhelm, which you then came into after a entertaining interaction with the guard of the entrance, in essence. You guys then made it in, had another interesting interaction with the purveyor of the Stonemason's Inn, Darla Stonemason, and you guys, while Kale and the maids were happy, positive, I don't know the right word, but went all right with everything. Elandor had a bit of a struggle being in a dwarven city for the first time, as far as I'm aware, actually. And the generalized stereotypes and prejudices that exist from elves and dwarves were expressed strongly in the initial entrance there.
Chat is saying you're a little quiet.
Well, I can't possibly get any louder.
Oh, okay.
So, and nobody else has talked yet, so I would recommend turning your volume up.
Okay.
That is unfortunately the best thing that I can say right now.
It says it's, Dragonheart says it's only you. So.
Yeah.
Speak loudly.
Which makes literally no sense to me. But
we'll try.
Yeah. So I think I'm pretty much the only one that's been talking so far. So that would be why. I recommend volume up, and then if it persists, let us know. But yeah, that's where we're picking things up. You guys had baths through the evening, and then
have we had a rest?
Yes. And then you bedded down in your own individual rooms.
That's where we
to sleep.
Yeah.
Wow. Now arising, refreshed, clean. Your clothing has been cleaned as well, as that was paid for and returned to you.
Yeah.
You guys are all spiffy and good to go here as you choose to within the city of Dwevelhelm. Your rooms are paid for the week, in essence.
Yep.
We've got 5 days, if I'm not mistaken, on that.
Yes.
That's true.
And yeah, today is day 2.
Day 2.
To downstairs. See you later. Yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs. I don't know if I've met any of you guys on the way, but I'm up. I've prayed. I'm clean.
Yep.
Gym, tan, laundry.
Yeah, I'm
out the door.
I was up with the crack dawn type thing, so I'm already out, kind of looking around the city.
So you're actually out?
I'm out. I've already walked out of the tunnel. I haven't really gone out of eyesight of the.
So you're heading back to the
stable.
crossroads.
Yeah, I'm looking across the street and checking out all the different people.
Yeah. So what you do notice is at this time, you guys had arrived kind of later in the day, and it seemed kind of barren at that time, very much just closing down for the day kind of thing. But now you actually see it's kind of a, not bustling like a bunch of people there, but a pretty well filled market. That was doing that.
Is it mostly dwarven kind?
Yes. So Dwevelhelm itself, as you look around, you pretty much only see dwarves. There are a few errant humans and even a couple of elves here, but primarily it's all dwarven in this general area.
I pretty much nod at all the elves, like, hey guy.
All 2 of them. You see 2 completely separate from each other.
Right.
Elves, one heading down towards the docks. Actually looks like maybe they work in some form of merchants sailing, dressed in that kind of garb, and the other in a more, I wouldn't say elegant, but nicer attire. More kind of flowing, somewhat silken type.
Not a
robes.
laborer. Yeah.
Not just a generalized laborer, no. Heading up kind of northwards.
All right, I'll just stay right there and kind of keep an eye out and wait for them to emerge from the building.
Perfect. Roll a perception check for me, just out of curiosity.
Ooh. That's a +6, so that's a 24.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. And Kale and Maze, what are you guys doing?
Maze will most likely be the last one down, like closer to you, but like complete bedhead.
Was Coral with her, with me, or was Coral?
Let's say with you.
Okay.
And is currently with you as well.
Okay.
Just kind of plodding along.
Okay. Yep. Well, Coral, I suppose we should wait for the others.
What about breakfast?
Perhaps we should have a more modest breakfast before heading out.
Food's food.
Mm-hmm. So, get out just rations, hardtack, and
Grab your own stuff.
bread.
Just munch on it in the corner.
Yeah.
You get a couple of odd glances. One from Darla at the bar. Again, they're just kind of peering up over it, washing some stuff down, just like
Do I see it?
perception roll.
Yeah. No.
No.
7.
Yeah, and then you do actually see just someone at a table kind of beside you eating a very nice, like full spread breakfast kind of thing. Just big old dwarf just kind of looks over at you like, why would you not be eating this?
And then I go, must stay humble before meeting your betters.
Whatever. Just keeps devouring it. In a place of decorum, quite sloppy comparative to some of the stuff you've seen, such as even just Coral eating.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
But definitely voraciously devouring this breakfast.
Yeah.
Her eyes massive, just staring at it.
Maze will actually walk up to Darla and order a big breakfast. Like, I'm just sleepy-eyed and I walk past everyone and just like, no. Food.
Okay, and interesting. Make another perception roll, Kale. And May, since you're there, you can do it as well.
I have sleepies in my eyes, so that was a 7, 11.
10. Nope. 11.
Okay, so you don't know how it's happened, but you look down and you see Coral with some of the scrambled eggs that were on the gentleman's plate, and just kind of in her hand and just eating it kind of under the table.
Coral.
A little bit kind of drop back.
Yeah. Put magic them back. Come on. We don't steal from people.
There's like little crumbs back, and she's just like, and they kind of float in the air under the table, and you watch him just kind of like fall beside him. Like he kind of looks over it, like.
And I was like, it's as good as I'm gonna get from a goblin.
She wanted real food. As Maze now joins the two of you.
She's really gobbling it down.
Oh no!
Depends. What kind of big breakfast? Are you talking like
The
full
biggest there
spread,
is. Oh, yeah.
crazy, just out of this world? That is
As the English would call it, an English breakfast.
right.
Because
that is,
it's very ethnocentric when it's like English breakfast, full spread, everything amazing. Continental breakfast, which means French, is like toast and a muffin.
right. Exactly. Is 2 gold.
Okay, got it.
And so, actually, in essence, you wouldn't be bringing it over. It would be brought over to you since it's so much. Individually, 3 people have to carry it over.
Okay.
And you realize it is exactly the same as what the dwarven gentleman was eating. It all gets
And
set
then
out
when it
in
gets
front
laid
of
out,
you.
Maze is like, oh, I wonder if there's someone who could help me eat this.
You look over to your left,
Coral?
and it's just wide-eyed, glistening Coral.
Moderation,
staring at you,
Coral.
A slight bit of drool coming out.
Moderation. Discipline, Coral.
She walks over, very upright and
Kale?
proper.
Alendor, do you
Sits
want to
down, grabs like
He's
a
not around.
napkin off the
You're not-
table,
oh.
ties it
Yeah.
around her neck,
Yeah.
picks up a knife, sits it down, fork, sits it down, spoon, and just starts devouring more eggs.
Kale, would you like some?
How much is there? Is there actually enough for like
Yeah,
3
like, it's
people?
a-
There is
bit,
definitely
yeah.
enough for it to be portioned
Okay.
out amongst like 3
Maeve
people.
really wouldn't eat a lot. She just wanted to
Right. Coral.
maintain.
Coral.
Yeah.
Slow down. We're not on the trail. We're not. Okay. Slow down.
Picks up a piece of bacon and just starts kind of nibbling on it.
Better. Better. Like that. And call for a plate. And they just
Perfect.
properly start eating.
Yep.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Very whole portion, everything.
Yeah.
It's like pristine squares.
Yeah, I just
Compared
pictured
to
him not
everybody
letting
else.
his food touch.
Yeah,
It's like
it does
all
not
this
touch
stuff.
at all. There's like a little syrup on it, and it's like continually brushed back over.
Yeah. Just
Very
eating them
aristocratic.
properly.
Yes, that's how I
And
picture
just
Fitting
we've
the
got
scene.
appearances to
Exactly.
uphold.
it. Mace
Exactly.
would take a little bit of everything and just mix it all up. Why not?
Of
And
course.
Then just kind of like eat it because it's like
Purposely doing exactly
like
what he's not doing.
slosh. Yeah.
Weird.
All gets mixed up anyways.
Yes. Yeah, it does.
All goes in the same place.
Yeah, well,
Perfect.
it's not how people see it.
Eventually, your guys' meal does come to a close.
Mhm.
Everybody finishing up, even Coral sitting back now, just kind of like holding her belly.
Nice.
And which is, she actually has a bit of a belly now that it's so stuffed full of food.
Yeah.
And
Well, Cora, you ready to walk that off?
I'm gonna have to bring it up.
Mm.
all right, she clambers down, looking more like a halfling than a goblin at this moment.
Just a green
Waddles
halfling.
along towards the door as
A
you guys
proud
do that.
foot.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, where will you guys be heading? You're aware of some locations. I can
Yeah,
lead
we
your
should go.
memory on that.
We should probably try to find our
Yeah,
elven friend.
Yeah. If he's anything like Bryn being from the wood, he's probably outside.
Yeah, there's a good chance he is. Well, outside of the city or outside in general?
Just out here looking for a tree or something.
I don't know where we could find a tree. Hey, where can we find a tree around here?
Okay, at that time I've seen them come out.
Yeah, so
I'm
they're
just-
like out.
Oh, you would
He's
see
just kind of
us,
like
okay.
leaning against a corner, and you guys just happen to see him. He stands up.
Yeah.
And
So
there's,
I'll start
like
walking.
this kind of old cobbler type dwarven guy, kind of frail for a dwarf, looks up and like, what would you want a tree for?
Oh, it's not really the tree. You know, just where? Please.
He points back towards like the gates you came from, kind of in general,
In
pointing
general, just
away, like out of the mountains.
Outside.
Yeah.
The forest?
When I go up and I just tap him on the shoulder. What took you guys so long? I thought we were getting an early start.
Coral pulls out
And
of
I'm
her
like-
pocket just this piece of bacon and hands it to you.
Oh,
Yeah,
breakfast.
And I'm like-
thank you.
we are.
Well, I was expecting like at dawn, but
And if you think the nobility starts seeing people at dawn,
well, that's a
That's
miscommunication.
The actual
Colt doesn't
sunrise
actually
here
start.
is taking place.
Yeah.
Even though you are in a cave,
Yeah.
because of the way that it's structured, you are getting a actual sunrise
Mhm.
through this space in morning, as opposed to at noon when you'd expect it,
Mm.
being in the mountains like this and shadowed by things.
Neat.
It's interesting.
Well, suppose we should probably find someone who knows their way to the castle.
Well, it's probably that
Could we
big building
see
over
the,
there.
Yeah, the really big castle. Can we see it from here?
Mm.
I guess perception's
Some
a
of
thing
the-
for that. So
Okay.
yeah, if you guys want to roll those.
Can I hold my 24?
Yeah, I'll let your 21st
Okay,
stand,
good.
unless you get a 1 right now.
I got a 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you were out, you had time to really kind of search around and stuff anyways.
Yep.
Other two of you?
Nat 20 plus 4.
Just
Okay.
not
That's my
20.
first one. I love it.
Yep.
The second,
Um,
second one I got.
13.
Nice. So you're kind of like looking around, thinking maybe of just kind of like asking someone.
Mhm.
And Maze immediately is just like,
Right there.
And like you
It's
don't
east.
actually see the like it's not like here's this giant structure. You just kind of see these like top towers basically that you can clearly tell are a little more ornately carved from this space. And at the same moment, Ilandor, you're like, yeah,
that's what I was talking about, guys.
and then Kale looks up and is like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we go east.
So you guys make your way towards
Don't always get
towards
lost.
the keep here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you guys arrive, you guys are. Trying to think of who the people are here. I made notes. And perfect. So you step in, and there are guards up here near the doors, but they're not like being lazy or anything. But the doors are wide open. This is the time to receive people conveniently. So you step in. There is a bit of a line, but not much. Just people kind of sitting on benches, clearly waiting to head in. And it seems like it's a more order yourself as need to be ordered kind of thing. And there are just one person comes out as you guys enter the kind of foyer area. Foyer?
Foyer.
Foyer. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. That weird entryway space before you get to the actual entrance. And antechamber, that's actually the one I wanted to use. And so one group comes out, and then another couple stands up and goes in right as you guys come in, and then there's one person in front of you.
Oh, this is divorce court, obviously.
Yeah.
But no, so well, you mentioned you wanted some adventure, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm following you guys.
There's a way to get to the front of the line, but I don't know if it's going to be the way that you want.
What, we make a scene?
No.
Oh.
No.
What do we do?
Well, we go to each individual and ask what the grievance is and offer our services.
Oh. So
If
then
it's something that we can assist with, then
we win over the people, and then everyone's
well, then
happy.
they don't need to talk to the royalty. They don't need to talk to nobility.
Oh, so the entire line goes away.
Right.
Oh.
And everybody's happy.
It's a win-win.
And we get to make money.
Ooh, I like these. I like these a lot. So we can have a nice breakfast.
Right. Yeah, that's why we make the money.
Yeah. That bacon was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who do we talk to?
Yeah, so what are we seeing in front of us as
One
far as
person.
people? One person?
Yep.
All right.
Just sitting there waiting. The doors had, right as you came in, the doors had kind of just shut behind the next group that was heading in of two people.
Yeah.
Whereas two kind of merchant-looking types left, and then a couple kind of walked in.
Okay. Good sir.
What?
My name is Kellett Stratz of Marikos, of the Bright Blades of Marikos. Do you have an issue with the governor king around here?
No, not with him.
No. Well, then with who?
Why should I tell you?
Well, I'm an ordained Bright Blade. I'll show him my little writ.
We might be able
I'm
to
here.
help you.
Well, you see, and he just starts going into this story more than I will, but you'll get the gist. You see, Torvin over there, he has been taking my crops. Sure, they grow a little over the fence, but they're my crops. I planted them, and he has no right taking what's mine.
But we had to build a bigger fence.
I have built a perfectly adequate fence.
Oh, what's your name, sir?
Craven.
Graven? Very well, Graven. What if I were to offer you our services?
What's a knight gonna do in this situation? What can you
could,
do for me?
well, we could actually help you with harvesting your crops before they get stolen.
It gives this kind of suspicious look, like trying to determine what you're in for here. What good is it to you?
Gets you out of our way for the day. put us next, and we can speak with. Is it a king?
History check for you.
Yeah.
You two out of luck.
20, dirty.
The leader of the
Is it like
area
a
here
council?
and in some of the other spaces,
Mhm.
they are referred to as wardens.
Okay.
This would be you're
Warden.
seeking an audience with the warden of the eastern entry.
Okay.
There are specific entry points into the mountains.
Mhm.
This is the eastern side, so this
Okay.
is the eastern entry.
Well, it would get us to speaking with the warden of the eastern entry a little bit quicker. We have very urgent business that we need to tell them about and warn them.
Have very urgent business myself. sir.
Right, but they're not going to help you as quickly as we can.
Maybe you should just wait.
And at this moment,
Can I?
the
Oh,
door
wait.
opens,
Oh,
and the couple kind of comes out looking like they got what they were looking for.
Mhm.
And he looks at you, looks at the door, and then just bolts into the door and like pushes it open and shuts it behind himself. I rolled a 20 on whether or not he was going to pay attention to you. It was under 10 and he would, over 10 and he wouldn't.
Yeah.
So a 20 meant F you. And
Yeah.
so he
Well,
looked at like
he never
immediately
really mentioned
making
where his crops were, did he?
No.
You would gather based on what you've seen and the general direction in which he pointed,
Huh?
they're the farmland that you came in from.
So kind of a distance away from here.
The ones that are growing up on the fence, that's his.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna go set
That's-
fire
that's
to
his
this building and be
complaint.
like, oh, something's on fire. You better go check it out.
Oh, great. This guy's trivial.
The player is like, oh my
and
god.
before the door even shuts, you hear him started, now, as I was meaning to say yesterday when I was so
Hey,
rudely
Colin,
turned
wanna go
away.
get some
And the
fruit
door
and
shuts
veggies?
behind him. And the sound is all muffled now.
Mhm.
It only takes about 2 to 3 minutes or so.
No, not enough for me to go pick fruit. Hey, I was gonna go take some.
Yeah, it would take you a day to get there, so I wouldn't
never
recommend it in
mind.
this
Okay.
instance. And you would know that. But in a couple of short minutes, you see him led back out by the arms by 2 very burly dwarves in armor. And he's just like, not thinking that he should say anything, just silently, pursed lips, wide-eyed, like crazed.
As he's
he
going
is.
by, he said, "Too bad you never took us up on it."
And as he starts to talk, one of the dwarves kind of pulls his shoulder a little bit.
I like
And
it
just keeps
better
getting
that
pulled
way.
away. And now the gates open, and
No good
a
deed.
exceptionally short
Often.
dwarf steps out.
Oh.
Oh, sorry about the wait. You are welcome in to see Craig Fogroth,
Craig Falgroth.
the warden of the Eastern
Craig.
Tree. Forgot, sorry.
Dude, Craig.
Craig Fogroth. Welcome. And as you guys step through the doorway, he just kind of doesn't like poof vanish, but just like steps off in the, like a little doorway.
We follow.
And you
I
guys
follow.
Step forward. Well, he goes away, and you guys see straight ahead of you. There is basically a throne room by any account, but not a ornate and fancy kind of thing. Just this is a seat of power.
How does he style himself? The warden.
Is,
Like how do you address him? What is it? The
Proper etiquette?
well, yeah, the proper etiquette, or like the kind of titles. that
Oh,
you-
the title, gotcha.
like really like Your Majesty or Your Grace or Your Highness or Your Eminence
I would just say
or Dude Bro.
Utilizing the term warden in place of like Your Grace would be the sufficient and proper way to do so.
Okay, so your wardenship.
Just warden. It would be
Say wardenship, please.
for you as an individual human player, not
Yeah.
part of the game.
Yeah.
The way you would do so would bother the crap out of your proper grammatical structure, but you would actually utilize just like
Something
High warden
officer.
or
Okay.
warden.
Yeah, you would just
or-
Yeah, yes.
address
instead
him
of
by
saying
his actual
sir,
title
it's like
instead of
warden.
a style. Okay.
Yeah, it's very much to the point kind of thing,
Yeah.
and that's how this culture functions. It's very
Mhm.
just to the point. We're not here for nonsense and frills. It's purposeful.
All right.
So, as you guys approach through a dark stone but well crafted area. Kind of
Okay.
the typical columns along the spaces, doorways off to each side. There are a bunch of deep blue tapestries hanging kind of in the spaces between the pillars, with this really like angular gold kind of bordering around them, and then the central portion there is like a river kind of flowing through, kind of a circular shape with mountains up on either side, which you dictate generalized location, and this is just a representation of the specific location you currently are, because this is the riverfront. Stepping forward, you see up in the large stone chair, more so, but in essence could be mistaken for a throne by most likely you for sure. And Maze would kind of be a little bit, okay, this person is definitely important, and you'd recognize that. Your views would be the same as they are. This is an important person. They're not the king, and it's apparent by the structure of this space.
It's like a
they
governor.
are very important to right here.
Yeah.
And sitting on top of that is a armored but unhelmed, large, older dwarf, kind of stern eyes, bushy eyebrows, dark black hair with streaks of kind of gray through and on his head and his beard, long, just kind of tousled around his shoulders, just sitting up there, looking down. Welcome.
Welcome. Hi.
Orton Craig, we come news from the south.
What news have you?
To speak bluntly, death of a god and the return of gods.
Dragons.
All right.
I saw one.
A couple of our scouts did say they were seeing some winged creatures flying off from the forest the other night. It's interesting. It's been quite some time since we've had dealings with those beasts.
Whispers from the east mention shadow growing in power. I come with warning, words of forbearance.
Speak 'em.
It was Gundak, right?
Guthok is
Guthok, okay.
Yes, the evil.
Guthok, the evil dragon god, has returned to this world and is building his power and consolidating it in the east, in the home realm of actually my compatriot here, Mazakeen.
Yes, in Kazesh, where I'm from, is where it seemed to have started. Unfortunately, I only know this from a vision that was shared from another god.
Morelia.
The old sorceress down at Feldar.
Yes.
It turns out she's the avatar for the actual dragon god. Morelia.
Interesting. Well, much of what you've said is known to us here. Myself, at least.
There's something that you probably haven't heard. You're probably aware that the Blades are actually marshalling. You're probably wondering yourself why myself, a Blade, am not marshalling with them.
It is a bit unusual, yes.
There's a higher calling. And then I
raises an eyebrow, almost like, what do you got going on?
I've had
Almost
visions.
readying him. He looks like he almost readies himself for maybe a fight of some kind. He just kind of like squares up a little bit.
There's going to be no need for any hostility, I promise you, but I've had visions, dreams of flying over these mountains and forging a sword. I don't know if it's metaphorical or if it's literal, but what I do know is that according to Morelia, the goddess, the sorceress, is that Koro is to has chosen my body as the vessel for his return. And I was told that I must go this way in order to achieve this.
Well, it is news indeed. Can't imagine how we can assist in this, but
I just need access. What was the name of the forge?
I don't think there was one given.
Yeah, the one was not given, just before.
Just described more so.
Right. It was a...
Although while we're here, while he's doing it, because you mentioned of a blade, Maisel asked, Warden, are you familiar with a blade? And basically I'll point to you, the one that you have. I was told it belongs to a great warrior. There were two of them. Unfortunately, we only have one that has a raven's head on the hilt, possibly dragon scale, and pure silver blade. I wish to return this to the owner.
Do you have this blade on you?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I do, actually. I kind of get it out of my back sheath. And then hold it up.
And he grabs
Hilt
it
first.
just kind of gingerly. He takes it, and as he swings it kind of around the air, it actually seems to leave this like whitish light trail kind of behind it.
While he's doing that, I was
Whoa,
told it
that's
just belonged
fancy.
to an icy warrior up north.
He spins around, hands it back to you. That blade and its sister belonged to someone we believe to be dead. One of the White Elves, far north, up by the Lake of Dreams where the Aaron comes from. There was a settlement there, elven settlement, and he kind of looks at you. Very fine, well-crafted items used to come down the river from there. They stopped, and a party was sent to investigate, one of which returned, maddened. Speaking of monsters and creatures,
Shadows.
is in a fashion. He was sent away because of his ramblings. It's the best for the populace. And
Where did you send him to?
out the gates,
Oh, exiled?
removed for the greater good.
He means exiled. He don't be here no more.
And with that came a report that the leader of these people had fallen. That blade was well known as one he carried, along with a matching blade. Returning him, I don't know if that's possible now.
Fallen how?
We don't know. We didn't continue investigating.
Who's investigating?
We didn't continue.
I have a pretty good idea who did it.
Do you possibly know if he had any family or kin?
Yes, there was a daughter, but I have no word of her.
No name?
Is she up there at the Lake of Dreams too?
That's where the whole settlement was. I don't know.
Maybe we should go and investigate that area.
I
Is
feel
there a
that this
forge
blade
up
needs to
there?
get back to the family.
There's an elven forge, yes. I mean, they crafted their own items up there. This blade and its other as well. biggest forge that we're aware of is the High Forge that we found in Durfast. But if it's a forge you're looking for, I'd recommend that one. If it's this fallen elf, then you'll be heading north.
Where's Dorfast at?
I don't know.
Where's Dorfast? Is that still north too?
Durfast
Yeah.
is northwest of here.
It's in the mountain.
It's the central
Everything's in that
capital
mountain.
of our realm.
Oh.
High King Halistar Varanj
He's like,
rules this region
Dorfast.
from Durfast.
That's what I said.
Warden, forgive me for being nosy, but I noticed the previous gentleman being escorted out. Is he being exiled, or what was the word? Sorry.
Yes, exiled. They like to do that a lot here.
You used the wrong word.
I take it he wasn't quiet in the chamber.
No, fuck on that.
No.
He has been here every day for the past month.
About the same problem?
About the same problem.
Forgive me for, stepping on any bounds. I have a friend down south a little ways who could be a great ally to you. And since he grows so many crops, I figured a fitting, I don't know if it's a punishment is the word, but this may help you not really be rid of him, but put him in his place, is if he has to collect a certain amount of food and leave him outside of a cave for my friend Gorman. He is a large troll. He is very friendly, and if you befriend him, he will help you and protect your city.
We'll take it under advisement.
I
You can make a
appreciate
You can
that.
make a persuasion roll if you want.
I'll try, but I just wanted to put that in the mind.
Let's just say it's a really high DC.
I wish it was,
The
but
23?
it's
Persuasion.
14.
No.
Same response. It
Yeah.
just carries over.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to put it out there. It's in the mind.
Let me offer you.
So directions to the High Forge and directions to this lake to return this blade. It seems like that's all that we really needed at this moment. Is there anything that we can offer?
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, me too.
Well, as a blade, you may be able to assist with something. We've been dealing with a problem for some time.
Farmer.
Disgruntled farmer.
If you could behead that guy, no.
They could look like an accident.
There are spirits of a sort that come into town every nightfall. I'm sure you've heard of it if you have any knowledge of this region.
We hadn't
Yes,
had.
we had someone past us talk about these. The two dwarven gentlemen that we met before
yeah.
the woods.
Yes,
Oh.
the
Talk to
two
spirits.
passing through. Yeah.
Yes.
It's an easy thing to deal with. If we don't have anyone out at night, they don't bother anyone. They come in, make a scene, and then leave by morning. We don't know where they're coming from. And if you are out at night, it's not good for your health. If you could aid in at least finding the source of this issue, there would of course be a reward.
We'll do it.
The dead's kind of
You
my
would need-
specialty.
Oh, what?
Can you step
Oh,
outside?
sorry.
Go find a tree. Mace actually hands
I'll-
him the leaf.
talk-
Go find me another one of these.
I'll go to the door and wait right there, but I won't leave.
What's the reward we're looking at?
Depends. We have many things that may be of value to you. We also have gold.
Primarily coin is what I'm interested in. Alanduar,
Yes.
what are you interested in?
The
What kind of boon would you like? We're like shouting like 20 feet.
It's like 30,
It's
40
echoing
feet.
and everything.
I like money.
A coin for 2 of us, you.
I guess coin would be the easiest thing. Just so you know, Warden, if you do, while we solve this, need any other from us, we are happy to be staying in the Inn of the Stone Age. So.
Perfect.
I've actually got 2 things. Give them the coin. I want to deal in favors.
Name it.
At a future date.
You want the date with the king?
No. Perhaps. Who knows?
Okay.
And Coral, what would she like?
Oh yeah.
You don't actually see Coral right now.
Mm.
And then I just like thrust it in the wind.
Coral is my squire. She likes what I like.
Oh, okay.
Or she better.
She better.
She'll
Mace is still trying to like not.
she'll get muffins and she'll like them.
You feel a little like prick in your back. It's like a joke almost.
Yeah.
Like it's just a little like.
Yeah.
And
She like picks at a scale.
yeah, you can kind of tell that it's just it's
Yeah.
it's in good fun.
Lifts up one of the scales and brings it back.
Actually,
Mm.
Warden, sorry. My favor, I will bypass the coin. I just want my good friend Goraman, the troll to the south, unharmed. He is friendly and could use some company or at least food. I ask if we do this, if you can make sure at least no harm comes to him from you.
Aid a troll, give an elf some coin, and wait for what a dragonborn wants. So High asks,
Would you like to have night times in your city again?
if you can resolve the problem fully, I think we can have an agreement.
Alright.
I appreciate that.
That sounds like a deal to me. You wanted adventure.
Yes.
You wanted adventure.
Yes, I do. Adventure.
Okay. We shall call that a deal.
And Maze bows down deeply and then she walks backwards while bowing. Just
Just-
kind of like the awkward.
I
like,
just
I'm gonna walk back.
Salute. Like, what's the proper salute? Something like this, you know?
You wouldn't know.
To you.
You know?
It's more of a,
You're a
more of a
dragonborn,
blades
so-
thing than a
Yeah.
dwarf thing.
Right. Well, I salute and then just turn on heel.
Okay, he like you glance over your shoulder and he's just kind of looking at you guys like, all right, odd group. Doors open before you,
He will remember us.
shut behind you. There's a group of individuals now that have kind of come to the area. You guys happen to get there at a very reasonable time,
Mhm.
and you can see now there is quite a line.
Mhm.
And they're all dwarves, except you do now see that one same elf that you had seen, more better dressed individual.
Okay.
Just kind of midway in the line, just leaned up, resting against a wall, kind of notices you walk out and raises an eyebrow at kind of all three of you, and you just
The RPG player in me is like, they all have exclamation points above their head.
every single
Get
one.
the XP!
This is a line of adventure.
The XP is the most important resource.
It's like you're gonna have a
I didn't
really high
process the
target.
concept that was a thing. that
We're
could
gonna just
happen.
we're gonna stay at the
Do
door
what you will, but-
and just address everyone's. Write
Yeah,
them all
just like
down.
make an announcement. A quick announcement. There's a blade in town. If anybody has anything that they need done regarding monsters or any sort of trouble with hooligans, ruffians, you can come to us and we'll see what we can do.
You see kind of one younger looking dwarf without a beard,
Mhm.
kind of like well dressed in like kind of billowing like sleeves and a like velvet vest, kind of. Where might we call upon you?
It's at the stable.
We're staying at the inn.
Stonemason and stable.
Just leave a message for us.
Who should we address our message to?
You can address it to Kalit Struts, the Blade, Mazakine, or Elendua.
Thank you.
Perfect. And he turns on his heel and walks out.
Yes.
The others are kind of like,
If anyone needs healing, I can heal as well. And then just walks off.
Make a perception roll.
Perception. Nat 20.
That's our second one.
Oh, yeah. Perception? Okay, that'd
Plus.
be 24.
So,
This new dice.
kind of near the end of the line as you're walking out, you notice a like old woman and a young child, both human actually. The old woman is just kind of like sitting there like kind of like groaning, and the kid is kind of just like
Definitely need my help.
and they kind of look up as you say that and start
Yeah.
to walk away from them, and then they get kind of sad and you kind of glance back and that's when you notice it.
And I will actually cure them. I will burn a spell.
Okay, which one?
Do I hold on? Perception of 17. Do I see her turn around?
Yeah, you
Yeah. I just
interesting
put my-
wording. Yes, you notice her turn around, and then
Okay.
based on that, you're able to notice
Yeah.
the situation. Yeah.
Okay.
I will cure wounds on both.
Does that get rid of disease?
Well, I can detect it. What is cure wound? I have 2. I have cure wound.
What do you see, Maze?
I see there's a couple of people that are here, but they're very sick. They're sick and dying. I need
They're
to
sick?
heal them.
I can take care of it. Who's sick? Which one? Both?
The old lady and
They
the
look
the
like they
child.
probably both are.
What's your name, little one?
Tyrell.
Tyrell? I place one hand on his head, one on his chest, you know? And then I
This is
just
why I
whisper,
like-
you know, by Koro's light be cured. And I lay on hands.
And as you
Oh,
do
is
this,
that-
your hands do just kind of glow with this golden energy around him, and he just kind of is like, and he like tries to cough, but he doesn't have any. He doesn't have a reason to anymore.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And Miss,
Help her too.
what's your name, Miss?
She can't even talk.
What's her name?
It's Grandma.
Grandma?
Grandma.
Grandma. By Koro's light be cured. Laying hands on her.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. What did you do?
Just, whenever you need help, just know the blades are always here.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. She's like kind of like grabs your hands. Thank you.
That is
And
very
he's-
nice.
That's all I need.
Yeah, why did he's curing? You know, my usual. I'm going to origami the leaves that I have into a bird for the little boy. While he's healing.
Yeah.
Oh,
For you.
thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome.
That's cool. He kind of like flaps the wings.
If anybody else needs assistance, you can let us know now, and we'll tell you where to find us. Otherwise, we're on our way.
Nobody else seems to really speak up. Like after your display,
Mhm.
everyone's kind of just like open mouth,
Just, like,
wide eyed,
shocked.
just staring at you like.
So we're not going to stand there.
"What?"
We're just going to go.
Yeah, we're leaving.
And then you guys do walk away.
That was very
And
cool.
as you guys are walking away through the city, we're going to take a break so that we can do the drawing for all of this stuff from Reckless Deck.
I'm like,
I was
don't
like,
waste
really?
a spell slot.
Trying.
We need that in
So,
combat.
Those of you that have yet to enter the massively awesome Reckless Deck giveaway that we have going right now in partnership with Reckless Deck, head to !Reckless in the chat. Click that link. Go there because it is going to be drawn basically right now. We're going to go on our break. Should give you guys just a little bit of time to continue getting entered into that, and then we will come back and draw the winner. So we'll see you guys shortly.
Plus, I've learned.
Microphone.
Microphone.
For some reason, the microphone stayed
All my
muted.
racial passwords.
That means I know exactly what does that now.
It's like
after some research, so I just have to go and switch a setting again. It's annoying I have to, but we'll get it done. Anywho, if you have not done so, now is definitely the time to enter into the giveaway for Volume 1, Volume 2, the World's Deck, the Apprentice Pack, all of the expansions, my missing brass coin, which I just realized is missing.
Coral!
Right,
Where is it?
exactly.
Coral.
Weird. Where actually is that? Anyways, I'll look for it later because
Goblin
it's
stole
not a
it.
good thing to do now. But yeah,
It is.
so that awesome brass coin that I'm usually throwing around over here, and
We'll find
a set of minis and some prints and just the
Pretty much
complete set,
everything
like
they offer.
Every single thing that
everything
they
that's
offer.
carried on recklessdeck.com plus. So definitely get entered into that. Link should be there in the chat right now. If it's not, !reckless, and you can see it and get yourself entered. You have like 15 seconds to do that. So go! All you have to do is follow, like not even fully follow on some of the things, but like follow us here on Twitch, follow us and Reckless Deck on Twitter, I think it is, and then just look at our Instagrams and YouTube pages. You don't even have to subscribe or follow those. You just click, and you can be
But
done.
while you're there,
Or
do
subscribe.
that.
I would greatly prefer that you would do so, but you don't actually have to. You only have to follow us right here, pretty much. So the other options are there, but that's more just to give you guys extra opportunities to win, such as was being stated, to subscribe to our channel for 10 extra entries. You unlock that after doing the first 9 things, along with a bunch of other stuff as well. So yeah, it's Instagrams for both of us and Reckless Deck, YouTube channels for us and Reckless Deck, the Reckless Deck website, which you should be checking out anyways because they have awesome stuff, which is all like gorgeous as well. The owner of Reckless Deck is a phenomenal artist, so they've got some really cool like art style stuff on all of their items. But yeah, do those things right now because I'm about to pull up and draw the winner. It will take me a couple clicks though, so you've still got a shot.
Time is running out.
Time is definitely running out though, because I am almost there.
Oh, no.
So, one prize left. Don't know. I don't think I actually clicked on anything myself when I was showing you guys that. I hope not, because if I win it, we've got a problem. So then,
Hashtag rigged.
I'll give you guys 10 seconds. Let's do a counter. 10,
Wrong.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Who gets it? Who win?
I don't know. It's taking a couple seconds to do it. So,
Anticlimactic.
let's see.
One.
Noel Kittredge.
Noel.
You have won. So
Yay!
congratulations, Noel.
Congratulations.
Or Noel.
Congrats.
Probably Noel. Normally that's how that's said. If it's not, I apologize
I don't
for getting your
see
name
it.
wrong. But congratulations, you have won
Kittredge.
the complete set.
The Kittredge.
From Reckless Deck. So, congratulations on that. And we will be forwarding your information to Reckless Deck, and then they will be sending out your prize. So that I can't tell you exactly when it should arrive, but theoretically within a week you should be receiving that. So congratulations, and I will be getting your information via email here, hopefully this evening, if not by tomorrow. So yeah, congratulations. Going back to our game now. You guys have just made quite the Jesus scene.
Did anyone walk
within
on
the
water?
city of Dwevelhelm after leaving.
Oh, I just learned water walking. No.
Right. Oh my God! I'm making Jesus as a character in D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
That's happening.
I mean, not. He existed in The Walking Dead, so hey.
I have to do this. That's phenomenal. So, anyways, if you guys randomly
Wait,
start seeing somebody
forever.
walking across water towards you with very long, like brown hair and a little beard going
It's
on,
Just a shaman from World War.
yeah.
No
So,
one special.
anyways, you guys, after doing so,
Could turn
are
into a
now just
dragon.
walking through the city. Again, you guys do have a list of places that were told to you that one of you doesn't really remember, but on a
Has a
fairly
map.
average roll, you could remember pretty much all these places because it was just said to you.
Yeah, the map was scribbled out looks like a person. Like,
So
doing the
where
whole
would you guys like to head?
Yeah.
I do believe I probably should try to get some more information about these.
Do we need to
Spirits.
restock on supplies?
No. Why do we need supplies? We're here in town.
No, restock on the supplies if we're leaving.
It's here in town.
I don't believe we're gonna be
Oh,
going too far.
okay, that's fine.
We're probably gonna need to do some investigation during the daylight while we can still ask people.
Okay, I
While they
thought
still
adventure was
answer indoors.
out in the world and
No.
I say we
that
go
stuff.
to the guy who greeted us at the gates. He probably heard all the stories.
Hmm.
'Cause I believe that's where they're coming in.
You want to go to that guy again?
Right. We don't want to go there.
do you want to go
Is
there?
that where where's the
There's like
That-
there is an entire like gate. Like there's the gate,
Okay,
and then
you
there's
figured
the
me out.
gate
I
on
just
the
wanted to go
very
burn the
edge.
guy's crops. Okay, fine.
You don't even know which farm is his. You would just
I know, that's why-
wreaking havoc on
I was
Dwevelhelm
going
proper.
to.
It's just like
And
all of
all
Dwevelhelm.
of the crops are gone and
I
there's a
think
famine
Dale
for
knows what he's
years.
trying to do. So
And we're
he's
like, well, we
no.
couldn't find the spirits. Guess we'll do that north.
Destroy this wonderful city. And yeah, that's,
You guys need a hero. Bye.
oh my god.
Alright. Well, we
Such-
gotta interview people to find the dead. Oh, actually, can I?
Well, they're spirits. We don't know if they're dead.
well,
They could be.
Well,
They
I
could
hope
be.
they're dead because I can talk to them.
They could be. You know, like not from things that were ever alive.
well, can we at least
Elemental
let's start
spirits.
at like the apothecary?
You're trying. You're
But-
trying. You're trying. A what?
Apothecary.
Okay. Yeah.
Pocket fairy.
I don't.
Did you grab one from the Feywild? No, you put that back, Alan Dor.
But Alan Dwarf, that's
Alan
not my
Dwarf.
door. That's not my name.
Okay, Alan Dor. You put that fairy back.
How is it that the one with the forked tongue is the only one that can speak properly?
The
Apothecary.
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 That's what I said.
Okay. Anyway, we could check that out, but I don't know necessarily how that would help. We need to perhaps see if there's a cleric around.
I'm right here.
Okay. Do you have any information about the chateau things at night?
I didn't see any yet.
Okay, we tried the
Yeah.
cleric. Let's
Yeah,
go
we tried.
apothecary.
All right, you can try the apothecary. I'm going to look around and see if there's any sort of church, place of healing, and see if the person in charge there knows anything.
Conveniently, Bellaby's apothecary does happen to specialize in a wide variety of various potions and elixirs that could be utilized for healing.
That's what.
I'm not saying that's where people would probably
Go?
maybe go for healing, but it
No,
might
no,
be a
no.
good
That's
start.
that's like the pharmacy. They don't go to the pharmacy because it's like, hey, I got a bum knee, like fix me up.
How far?
They
away
go to
from
the
Galvin's
doctor.
shop?
Who tells
The
them?
dwarf that Maze was with.
You're up there. You don't know, actually. You can make a perception roll and see if you can spot it on your way around.
Oh, come on, dice don't fit.
What are we looking for?
I'm looking
Galman's shop.
14.
Is that the name? Galman.
Something like that. Crazy dwarf guy
Yeah.
Yeah, he
with
likes
the
shiny
with the
balls.
horse that's real quick.
Galamon.
Yes.
Yeah. What?
Oh, it was a 14.
Okay.
I'm not looking for a shop.
You're not seeing it.
Okay.
What are you looking for specifically?
Church, any sort of
Religious establishment.
hospital, any sort of establishment where people would go for a healer.
Are you gonna ask people about it, or
Mhm.
just try to find it yourself?
No, I'll ask some people.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Just roll a d20 for me, and we'll see how well you ask people. It's
Yeah,
not really
like-
a thing for that.
natural 20.
Perfect. So the first person you come to, you ask about.
It's
any
me.
kind
They come to
of-
me.
Right.
Follow me.
So one person actually, it's one person you do meet. You actually ask a couple people. First person you meet like actually starts telling you the story about this healer that came out of the keep earlier this morning and healed this old woman and her
Yeah, that
child.
was me. But where else do people go?
You move on through, and they're just like, "Oh my gosh," they're like kind of stunned and everything. Then you move on to somebody else because the person isn't getting you what you need. Second person you come into contact with, they instruct you on a variety of temples that exist in the area. Primarily there's one actually that is, it's things you make me create that I actually already had in mind but didn't expect to pull out yet. I don't know why, because you're you. But there is, in fact, a kind of small, I want to call it a shrine, but it is a building that is actually Tokoro.
Hey.
So that exists here. And then there kind of, but that's for dead people.
That's where Mace wants to go. She wants to go where the dead people live.
And then there's
sensible.
I have to actually look at the Pantheon real quick here just to verify. There is a large temple to Morion, and yeah, sure. And there's also one to Walamo.
Knowledge.
That's a religion.
Religion. Checkaroo there.
6. Whoa.
Well, conveniently, for you specifically, obviously you know who Koro is, but it's kind of starting to get a little fuzzy.
Really, just my recent experiences have led me to believe some different things than what I was taught.
Right. You've heard of Morion before as being kind of a oversight creator type, kind of revered as like the oldest of the dragons, and is sometimes given the title of the one that created everything. Very much like a Zeus or God in Christianity kind of deity.
A god of God.
Yeah, like the god of gods in essence.
Yeah.
You've heard of that before, and he's very widely and like obviously like worshipped and followed across like all the regions.
And everyone kind of reveres him.
Yeah, very much like Christianity is. That form of individual and that kind of form of loosely, but in a fantasy variant version of a following, like that kind of size. Most people would recognize the name Morion. Yeah. So that exists. That's the biggest one. Walamo, vaguely
obscure.
Kind of get a thing, like very obscure, very different, but you don't really remember exactly.
Like maybe one or two blades, or like follow this one.
It's like you know the name. Yeah. That's about it. Like you maybe heard the name before. It kind of dings a very dull bell. That's about it.
Well, I guess I'll stick to familiarity and go with the one that's Tokoro first.
Okay. You get again. It was a 20 on that, so you know the exact location of all these places as well. So yeah, you guys walk there, and you're greeted by. It is a small structure. And it's actually kind of just like wedged between these two buildings that happen to be two separate forges. Just general, we make swords and we make horseshoes and stuff, kind of forges, but forges all the same. One on either side. And then the building itself is a 2-tiered little building, maybe 30 feet across at absolute most, more like probably 20. And then it has two large, like 10-foot tall doors that at each kind of level seems to be about 10 foot, and there's 2 levels. They are large silver doors that, yes, silver, and they are inlaid with like this kind of image on each side of a large dragon kind of flying up over the mountains, kind of in like this facing towards itself kind of pose type deal.
Yeah.
And then there are two large like handles on each side, one on each side.
Okay. I just attempt to push it open. Okay. I hold it open.
But I know, like, I mean, I guess you could tell by looking at it silver, but I'm guessing I know now that silver is bad to touch, right?
I'm pretty sure we
Or do I
diagnosed
just
you.
the store? Oh yeah, you guys.
Yeah, we diagnosed
You
you.
roll intelligence though as Maze to see Maze's interpretation of that.
No, I don't remember that.
Just silver
4?
swords. It's fine.
Oh, -1, so 3.
Oh god.
It's fine.
It's
Just a door.
Yep. He holds it open though, right?
Yeah, I'm holding it open.
I don't even realize it was open.
You get this kind of weird, like, tingly feeling when you walk through.
Like spiderwebs? Like
No.
Briefly passing through a sauna.
Like, you know that nerve on the back of your neck where if you kind of, like, flick it a little bit, you get that weird, like, kind of feeling in the back of your head?
No.
It's like that, but all through, like, your shoulders and arms and kind of everything.
Everything's all the hairs are standing up.
Yeah, kind of like, and it's just like right as you
okay,
pass
so
through the
like that
threshold.
wouldn't be enough to make Maze like just nope out of there, just kind of look weird.
I doubt
Keep
it.
going. Okay.
Oh, what a weird draft.
And unbeknownst to Maze, you both feel it as well.
Oh.
You step
Do
all
it?
the way in, right?
I was gonna say, do I notice? Does that like signify anything to me?
Not that you're aware
Okay.
of.
Like being
Just
a
weird,
follower.
like, woo.
Like being a follower, and like, is this a usual thing for stepping into a temple of Koro? I feel like I would just know that.
Yeah, good point. You
Yeah.
actually probably wouldn't. Yeah,
Okay.
it's familiar to you.
It's familiar, and I'm just like, no, okay. This is Sunday.
Yeah, right.
Sunday.
It does feel very familiar to you specifically because of your following and being in other Koro temples. Though the ones you've previously been in were typically a little more than this.
A little more ornate.
A little larger. Had because you come from the Blades who follow Koro in a general sense. All of them do.
Yeah.
And so that's it'd be odd for there to be other temples necessarily. There are some.
I mean, I'm sure that in Marikos there were some. But...
Yeah, in Marikos there's tons and tons of different. The whole pantheon is worship
represented
in Marikos. Everything's represented there, but it'd be very interesting if you guys ever end up there, actually. But yeah, so this is very small and dainty for a Koro temple, but it is very well structured still.
Yeah.
It's oddly dark.
It's kind of Spartan. Yeah, just very
oddly dark when
plain.
you walk in, like no lights kind of thing. However, there is a kind of somehow light is refracted into this in a way to where it's like the sun hits a statue in the center here of Koro in not full scale because the structure is too small for it, but in large scale. It definitely like towers up over you and is just like very proud and strong in full dragon form.
Yeah.
Not in the hybrid form you've seen a couple times now.
Yeah.
But in full form, and is just like standing there, shining silver all throughout. You get the feeling that while this isn't a large temple, you couldn't afford to build it. It's like all silver all over the place. Like the actual like stones and stuff are stones, but there are silver aspects to everything in here. And then
so with Maze's low intelligence,
danger.
Probably, like, are there seats or something? Like she's going to lean on something.
I'm just waiting for it to happen.
I'm just like, is there a seat or something?
There are, however, they are wood actually. So as much as I wanted it to be,
Maze the King.
Yeah.
Don't touch anything.
You mean like this?
What are you touching?
The wall.
It's fine. It's stone. The walls are stone. The floor is stone.
I touched it.
And there are also some banners hung in the back as well that you notice now as you kind of get further in past kind of the seating area and up near the statue. And the banners depict the same imagery as out front, but these are white with then silver inlay on them.
So better
I
than
wouldn't
doing.
recommend touching anything that looks silvery.
Oh yeah, that's right, Hilbert.
It could. Yeah.
Roll a d20 for me.
Yeah.
You had it in your hand like you knew.
13.
He was ready for it.
13.
He summoned a D20 like it wasn't even there. He just like,
Right?
He used his ring.
it's that ring.
Yeah, the ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the ring did it.
Yeah, in game, you see Kale burst out this
It's a
d20,
Mhm.
roll it across the ground.
Made of silver.
What are you doing?
And then I just like look up at the statue. 13.
Nice.
I like that a lot. Very carefully move this over. Can you
Is
see
it
that?
13?
It's a 13.
The big one
13.
is a 13.
Yeah.
Yay.
Convenient. So,
It's divine sense.
Oh, maybe I should roll mine. Nah, it's just a 5.
Hey, I got a 5.
what is going on here? Okay, so, Kale,
It's all
Mhm.
rigged.
as you step forward, you kind of lead the group a little bit.
Mm.
This is his domain.
And you start to feel that kind of soreness in your back again on your shoulder blades.
Mm.
And you shrug it off at first, but it just kind of persists. Make a Constitution roll for me.
Advantage
Roll
on
high, so we could just say
Constitution.
like Coral like ate too much and that's just extra weight.
Nope. 15.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you start to get kind of dizzy for a minute, and your vision kind of closes in a little bit,
Mhm.
and then you just kind of like shake your head and it kind of goes back to normal. But what all of you notice now is that it started to snow all around the statue
Inside?
inside. Hmm.
What is going on?
Is it actual snow? Not like flakes of silver or anything.
A really fun thing to
I
put
know.
in, but unfortunately it is just actual
Just-
snow.
Is it real snow?
It is real snow.
Unfortunately, it is real snow spontaneously falling
5.
Randomly.
Inside of a building.
inside of a building.
That has a weird glowing silver
Right.
statue.
Well, you know about that whole business about me being the chosen avatar for a god.
Yes. Well, that got.
Koro.
That's yeah.
Elendua.
Oh, hi.
Koro.
Hello. Snow god?
Yeah.
God of ice, among other things.
Oh, the ice breath.
Well known here in the north. Silver.
Cool.
Silver scales, yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense of the decor.
Mhm.
So is your favorite color white?
Maze. Make a history or religion, your choice, roll for me.
I would have to go. Well, it doesn't matter. They're both -1.
Okay. Which is surprising for a cleric.
I know.
She rolled a 2.
Yes, it would be a 2.
She rolled a 2.
Ew.
She's not very
I
good.
didn't even talk to you as a player just now. I didn't even ask you to roll. Anyways. And unfortunately, I can't have you do it.
Is he like explaining to me like the snow, and I'm just like, hey, it's snowing. He's like explaining. I'm like, huh? It's snowing inside.
But it's snowing inside.
Snowing.
This is very. Is this normal?
Really? Well,
No, it's
It's not even
Like,
normal
not even
for
cold.
temples of Koro.
Yeah.
It's unusual and
Is it like? Is it
Is
starting
there
to like
anyone else?
layer on the ground?
a little bit.
it might. Well, if I had to say anything, it's because it's in the presence of its chosen one.
Is there anyone else in here?
Oh.
A dwarf?
No.
Make a perception roll.
Do you want to commune with it?
Yeah, 12. Oh, no, 11. No, 12.
Oh, God.
16.
8.
It was 15. So, you Still don't know where I've got to kill
Coral.
her. You still don't know where Coral is.
Mm-hmm.
You have yet to see her ever since the throne room. And aside from that, you do notice another white instead of silver, dragonborn. That's smaller than Kale. Looks a little older. He's on the second level, kind of like looking down from like off to one of the sides, kind of looking down at you guys, and then kind of looking up at the snowing and stuff.
And I look up. Is this normal?
And he's kind of startled that you noticed him, and then and there's like this shimmer of like silver across where his hands went, and it just kind of fades like glitter falling down, and then directly in front of you.
Whoa.
Poof.
That's cool.
No, it's not normal at all.
Okay.
As you see him now, he's kind of hunched over. He's got this silver like kind of cane, not staff, but cane, in his hand. He's just a very old priest type dragonborn. He actually has even a little bit of a beard going kind of thing, which is, as you know, somewhat unusual for dragonborns to have, but he does
very
have
old
that
bearded
kind of,
dragon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and yes, this is the first time this has ever happened here. It is a
You've
good
been
sign.
there for a while, haven't you?
I founded the temple.
Ah. So this is the first.
How old are you?
That's rude.
Older than you.
I'm.
How are you? Who are you?
Keelit Struts, the Maricosian Blades.
What brings you here to our temple?
I kind of just look over at the...
He looks up as well, and his eyes are just kind of like glistening right now. Just like looks up. That's what brings us all here. Yes. You specifically, what are you looking for here?
Well, at first it was going to be information about some spirits that have been disturbing the peace at night.
Yes.
Didn't come here for a miracle.
That's just no.
Well, I hear you've been causing some. I don't get out much, but information finds its way here.
I'm not
We're
the only one.
famous! Yay!
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. A more appropriate response to being famous in this time.
Yeah, we are, but I don't know. I just came here for information and figured I would stop by and speak with those that I knew more about.
Well, the spirits you talk of, even I don't know where they're from. They come out of the water, the river. And if anyone is out in the evenings, they are not here in the morning. That is the farthest we've been able to deduce through the unfortunate loss of some brave souls and the unfortunate loss of some foolish souls.
Are they coming from the docks?
That's where the water is, yes.
But yes, thank you.
Well, I suppose that the best thing to do would be to investigate the river at night. Would you know anything that might be able to protect us?
Well,
Anything to look out for?
what kind of magics do you know? Anything that makes it seem like daylight?
Let's see, as far as what I've got, I've only got
Don't know anything.
this sword. Just pull out the silver sword.
Which is in a dark space. It does, in fact, light the space up in a bright white light. And that like kind of perks up physically as well.
Mm-hmm.
That will do. That will do very well.
You need radiant damage, right?
Oh, you mean to damage them? That may be a bit of a challenge. There are quite a number. But that, and anything like it, will keep them away from you while you investigate. If that's what you'll seek to do. I don't recommend battle.
Does this seem to be more of a halting than a outright invasion?
Hell, it's been going on for so long that we're used to it here. Past few years at least.
Residual.
More than that.
Is it like they don't know anyone exists, or do we know if someone's out there, they go for?
They go for anyone that's out. Anyone that's out is
But they don't.
taken.
But they don't go into buildings.
Not inside, no. Only out in the streets and alleyways.
Are the doors here made of silver? Not
Yes.
just here, but all throughout the city.
Oh, no, only these ones.
Just here. Okay.
Play ghosts.
Morning.
And you said there was many of them.
Yes,
More than two.
Yes, more than two.
Okay.
We don't have a solid count, but there's
I didn't expect.
hundreds of them.
Holy cow!
And
This is
Dwevelhelm
not
is
your
a
usual-
large
yeah.
city,
Yeah.
so hundreds isn't like overrunning the whole city all at once. It's like a couple in the street here and there kind of thing.
But they're
going
meandering through
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
This is not
They
the
don't
kind
seem
of ghost I'm
vengeful.
used
They're
to.
just.
I haven't studied them myself, but what we know so far is that, as I've said, they just take people. What they do with them after that, we don't know.
And they take them to the water.
Yes.
It looks like we'll have to investigate the water.
Can you swim?
Well enough.
Can you breathe underwater?
No.
You don't need to swim. You just need to sink to go in the water.
That's true.
Well, thank you for your time. What was your name?
Does it start with a K? Because all dragonborns start with a K.
Not all of them. But my name is Kramos.
So far, May still
Wait.
believes all dragonborns.
Doesn't that start with the K?
Not all do, but
This one.
I do. And he does, apparently.
So 2 for 2. Okay.
Okay. Well, Kromos, I appreciate everything that you've been able to assist us with. And may Koro's light guide your path.
My Coral's light guide yours.
May keeps her hands in her pocket. Don't touch anything.
Guide you too.
Make a perception roll, Neil.
20. Dirty. But 20.
The head of the dragon stretches out and kind of comes down over his shoulder. You two don't see it.
We
Just
don't
kinda-
notice a giant. Yeah, because I'm walking towards him.
And looks right at your face, right before you turn around. And then just sits like this. And again, regardless of anything,
We
neither one
can't
of you
see
see
that.
it.
I'm walking towards the door. That's
You're
like,
not
my hand's
looking,
not
you're
looking.
standing there and
Yeah,
just
I've been
don't
turned
see it.
around. Okay. Alright.
And you do clearly see it.
Okay.
And he kind of, the priest looks up and kind of like pats the dragon's neck. Interesting. Interesting indeed. And then just raises his hand up like that, and the silver just kind of, and he just vanishes. And then the head just kind of
Goes back to.
goes back to its normal position.
But
I'm just standing staring at the
What
door,
happened?
not touching it.
the snow.
Friend left.
You guys do see that.
Well, yeah.
You notice that.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, we're leaving, so
Alright.
he left.
Anyway, I guess the next thing we should investigate is maybe people by the docks.
The docks. That's where the water is.
Mm-hmm.
probably want to sit on the dock at the bay. Just gonna watch the time pass away.
Okay.
All right, that's what we're doing. We're going to the docks
Perfect.
of the river.
Dogs? We're gonna go see dogs.
The river ducks.
Dog.
The river ducks.
Ducks.
Yes. The ducks. The ducks.
The mighty
The-
ducks.
The ducks riding the dogs on the dock.
In the dark.
In the dark.
Now, how far
Duck
would
the
it take? I
ducks.
mean, because it took us a long time to figure out where the water was the first time we came.
Oh, we've been there now, so we
We
should be
haven't been there.
okay.
We just took us forever. A day to figure out where the water was.
Conveniently, this temple between the two forges is actually on the east-west road, and you guys are on the east side of it. So you're basically on your way to the docks already by coming to here. And the structure of the city, you can see the water from where you are. Like, it's a little ways off still, but because it's angled, you can see that it's that way.
Maze is disappointed she forgot to make a snowball.
True.
Mhm.
You did.
I missed the opportunity.
I'm sure, though, being in the north, you'll have more opportunities for snowballs. All three of you make perception rolls for me. Just to
Yeah.
carry through
Ooh,
this walk
look
to
at
the
that.
Ooh, oh my goodness.
Here's a natural 20.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
And
We're
I
doing
had
what? Perception?
Mm-hmm.
17.
22.
22?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. You guys see everything.
Hey, we both
Stepping
changed.
out and turning to your left, the forge that is on that side,
Mhm.
headed more towards the east side,
Mhm.
is Saglash's Forge. And that is one of the locations that was named by the entryman. That's on the left side of the road there. A few blocks down on the right side of the road is Bellabees, the apothecary. And on the left side of the road, just before the docks, a couple blocks back from the docks, because like I said, it's basically like a mile's distance here to get down there. This is a big city.
Mm.
You see a sign. The two of you see it right away, and you just kind of like looking over, like the apothecary,
The Vipacatari. Pack and the furry.
and then you two are like,
Pack of furries?
what's that?
A
There's
pack
a
of-
sign up on the that's kind of overhanging out into the street, and it's that kind of traditionalized, like almost shield shape.
Mhm.
In the center of it is a glistening ruby, and above that, and in each corner in like a diamond shape,
Mhm.
is a sapphire,
Ooh.
and around in the space between are 3 diamonds.
Spaceman.
And then there's gold inlay kind of coming off of it as kind of like a drawings
Mhm.
light kind of thing. And below that, there's a secondary sign that reads Galmon's Gems and Jewelry.
There he is.
There who is?
And then looking ahead, you do see the shiplaps slosh off right at the edge of the
that
docks.
was
Ah,
the
silverfish.
Sipper
saps.
saps.
Succotash.
Ship. Splash. Splosh.
You do know where those
Sploosh.
locations are now.
Hey, we found him.
You are currently standing in front of Galmon's.
Correct this
I
map.
will, Mace would like to peek in to see if Galamon's there.
Okay. So,
He is a dwarf.
do
I do not see
a perception roll for me.
What? I gotta do one of those to see if there's a duck head.
That's
30,
60.
20.
Oh, okay, perfect. I knew I set that too low, but still, you got a 20 regardless, so you're doing fine. So you look through the window. It's weird to be looking away from you guys from things, but I need to verify that.
Yeah.
You look through the window,
Had to check a
and
schedule.
inside of it, basically,
Yeah.
and you look through.
Here's on Tuesday.
You don't see the dwarf that you recognize.
Mhm.
Thank God for my voice. But you do see someone kind of they're back to the window, like tinkering on some stuff. Another dwarf, and they're just like doing some kind of like metal work or something, just with like a gold band of some kind.
Mhm.
They're kind of twisting around. And they've got like the whole like kind of spectacle
Oh
thing
yeah,
going
all the
on.
crazy ones. Yeah.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
You can see them through like the actual display windows. Along with
Okay.
that, it's just otherwise a kind of dark wooded interior shop. These shelves of various gems and gem encrusted items, all just kind of behind like glass barrier type things.
Mm.
Very much the jewelry store aesthetic, but with dark woods and stuff instead of like metals or whatever.
So Maze would like to go in, like knock to go in. I
Knock
can't
or
remember if
go
it's a
in.
shop. Huh?
Knock or go in.
Is it like clearly a shop that's open?
It's a shop. It says it is on the
Okay, well I'm
thing.
going in then. It's a
Okay,
shop.
so you try to push the door open and it is locked.
I knocked it.
Okay, so you
Roll for
knock. Roll for the volume of it.
Oh yeah. 13.
Okay, that's enough.
I was like,
And yeah,
It's not
well,
a-
for volume?
if you
Yes.
gotten a 20, it would
That'd
have
be
been
a strength
like
check.
obnoxious and
Yeah.
given you a different
Oh,
rating. If you had
gotcha.
rolled
Okay.
like a 5 or lower, it would have been unheard, and he would have just gone about his business. So that was where roll for knock came from.
Roll for knocking.
So you do knock at a normal, reasonable volume,
Mhm.
and you hear some kind of shuffling, and the door kind of just opens like halfway. Yes, hello.
Yes, I am.
Oh, hey, hi.
Oh yeah, hi.
Hello.
I understand. I see that Galamon's not here. Is he?
Is he not known as? Galamon is not here.
Okay. I am Maze. He helped me out weeks ago, and we are staying in town. And I pull out a parchment and a pen. I just write down my name and then where we're staying. And if he needs anything, let him know that we are here. And I want to say thank you.
No. Oh, okay,
And
wonderful.
a piece of paper.
He grabs that. You didn't want to buy anything?
No, we're here to take care of the dead ghost thingies. Have you seen those?
He kind of peeks his head out, and looks around.
They're not here
It's
right
still
now.
day. You're good.
The ones that come out at night.
Wonderful. I tend to lose track of time when I'm working, but
Oh, well, you're safe right now. Stay indoors at night.
that's the general plan around here. Yes. Good luck.
I
Do you
appreciate
guys live here or just work here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you're pretty close to the water. Have you seen them?
Yes.
what do they look like?
Ghosts.
Ghosts
They're
of
like
people, ghosts of
Spectral
bears.
No,
creatures.
no, they just float around.
Yeah, some of them.
Have you recognized any of them?
No.
Do they have faces?
Yes. Yes.
Dwarf faces?
No. And he looks very intently at you.
They never
Elven
come
faces?
Yes, some of them do. And he starts to kind of slowly shut the door.
I'm gonna brace the door.
No one's accusing any dwarves or anything of anything. But I think we might have a lead on where we actually need to go. You say they come from the we heard that they come from the river.
Yes.
My
He's still
question
pushing
is-
on it. Make a
Elven
strength check.
faces.
in. Yeah, they don't come in through doors or windows.
No.
19.
Does it look
Hold it
like?
open. He had an 18.
Oh,
Shut that door.
Does it?
Do we notice this like little like?
Well, yeah, I'm
His
I'm
voice,
holding.
if you've noticed his voice, is a little shakier, and he is visibly holding the door.
When did the elven town upriver disappear?
100 years ago or so.
How long has this been going on?
The same amount of time. And he gets
I'll
the
let it
door
go.
and he shuts it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And you hear like a lot more locks than you originally heard.
Mhm.
Just this thing is shut.
Maze-
You see like the blinds drawn
still
across the
shouts.
windows.
I don't know that guy. I just recently met him. Tell Galamon I say hi. And that's it. Yep.
Nothing back.
Try to like slide the paper in the
Slightly deeper underneath.
Yeah.
He already took
No, already
it.
yeah.
Otherwise, you would have to.
Actually, I scroll.
Well,
Sorry, and then slide it, try it, and it wrinkles, and I just slide it through.
just leave it there.
Yeah.
It just says sorry for him.
Sorry for him.
Sorry for him.
Anyway, well, I do believe we've actually gotten to
Yeah.
possibly the bottom of where we
Very
need
much
to go
so.
to take care of the source of this issue.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
8 pieces of paper.
In 100 years and just some of the worst detective work.
I don't think they very tried.
100 years mystery and we solved it in an afternoon.
Well, we solved where it comes from. It's still going to happen though.
Right. But we know where we need to head.
That's true.
We know what it's going to look like. What's the time?
Conveniently. It was actually starting to get a little bit later in the evening. Not evening, but we'll just call it 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock ish.
Mhm.
In the season that you guys are in, it's duskish. It's getting close to being night.
We should probably head back. I don't want to be wading through the wilds with all these ghosts about. Seems like the local population understands how to not get harmed. And we'll just have to take care of it tomorrow. I'd rather be out there during the day.
How long of a walk is it? Do we know?
To the
I guess it's
inn?
kind of been all around right now.
To the inn?
No, not to the end.
So-
Up to the lake.
Oh, that you have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on your map, sort of.
Yeah, my guess
But
my guess is it would take us probably the better part of the night to get there.
So we rest here. We rest, and then we go.
We start in the morning.
Yeah.
Would we be able to get back to the inn at night, or would we probably be
Ooh.
wise to seek refuge in the temple?
Oh, here? Oh, is that it's coming that dark?
We don't know when they
Yeah,
come out.
we don't know how long
We
it's
just
going to
know-
be.
We got little shiny light here.
Oh, that's true. I almost want to try to make a cake.
Comes up a little, so a little shiny light.
Little light.
As he is like a
I'm-
size and a half
I
in
am.
size.
Yeah, I am
Yeah.
half his size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're like at his chest, little. But
North Ends.
yeah. Who would like to lead you guys back? We'll just go with that. Who's in the front of the line?
I'll
who's
take the
going
front.
back?
Mhm.
Kale, you want to take the middle?
I'll take the middle, yeah.
Maze is gonna stay behind. I just want to I keep looking because I want to see if they come out of the water. Like she wants to see this.
So are you physically, intentionally, just straight up not going anywhere maze while they walk off, or?
I will go with them, but
Okay,
like
you're just
'Cause she's
kinda
not
still
I'm
hanging.
done.
lagging
Yeah, yeah.
behind
Yeah, yeah.
and like
Okay.
looking.
Perfect.
And they're like, are you coming? Like, yeah, and just still.
Okay, so
Mhm.
Elandoir, you've elected to be in the lead here. Roll a
Rock falls.
d20. This is a competitive roll against something I rolled a while ago.
A 16.
Okay. You just make it back right as kind of night falls. You just make it back to the inn.
Okay.
So you do actually get back perfectly safe and sound. If that was your location, otherwise, where you were headed, you would make it.
Okay.
So if you
So
did want to go to the
heading
temple
back to the inn. That's where I was
specifically,
Yeah,
leading.
that's where
Yeah,
we're going.
I'm going
To the
I
inn.
figured as much. So you have made it back to the inn.
And did I see anything? Because I was like,
It's only
Probably not.
2 buildings off from the corner, and you guys just made it. So make a perception roll for me. It's high.
What is this, what, 16?
And you are
said perception?
death domain though, so
20.
roll with advantage.
Okay. So that would be a dirty 20. Oh, that's a dirty 20.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. You just as you're crossing around the corner, get this kind of these multitude of faint kind of like glows. Now remember, you're a ways
Yeah.
away from it, but you see just this
An
kind of
orb?
like somewhat ethereal light around the edges there. That's kind of broken up as individual spaces.
I would do that excited, then go in.
I seen
But just like
ghosties.
What did
what
you
you
say?
noticed from that is
The
it
March
was
of the Ghosties.
all along the whole edge of like
The
the
water.
docks area. Yeah,
Oh.
like all along where any of the water touched the land,
Mhm.
it was alight with
Okay.
little bits of space between.
And I
each
see
one.
that just as we go and then get in.
Yeah.
I do share what I see with them, and You know, it's like, okay, so it's all along the water. Like, it's not a ghost coming up. It's all the water glowing. What time is it now? We need to document this.
It's just become nighttime.
Like, at night, exactly.
The sun has gone.
It's basically
The sun has gone down.
actually gone.
So
So
it
it's
is
full
at
set,
twilight.
and
Yeah.
it's like just past dusk, twilight. Dusk is the nighttime variant, so
Is-
just past dusk.
Is there a way? 'Cause Maze really wants to see more of this. She knows the inside is safe. Is there an upstairs window or a way to the roof, like an attic, or to climb up onto the roof and look down to observe? I would like push
Or a
up against the
balcony?
glass. Like, I just want to see this.
So you specifically stated there
Mhm.
you're looking for a way to see outside from your room, or
Yeah.
looking for a way to get up on top of the building.
Yes.
Are
At
you
first I would-
asking anybody?
No, first I'd try from my room. Like, if there's windows, can I see there? There are no
Because you're
windows?
2 buildings back, and the front portion of this is all dedicated to the restaurant/bar area of the kind of entryway, and it is a 2-tiered entryway space. So it's not like there's windows up front type of thing.
So no one has windows at all in this house?
Not on that side, but there are windows, but
Okay.
they all just kind of look out to the other buildings that are around the space, and the back windows, which you would have a back window, look kind of like over the stable area,
Mhm.
but not out like towards the roads and stuff,
Hmm.
Okay.
just because of the way the buildings are structured here.
Gotcha. I just want to try to watch, observe them to
So
see.
are you asking anybody about how to access the roof?
Yes, I guess I go ask
Darla.
Darla. Thank you. I don't have it on there. Darla. I explained to Darla, like, okay, those spirit things are coming out, and I'm very intrigued. And of course, we've been tasked with trying to figure out what's going on. Is there a way to safely observe them?
Well, I don't recommend that, no, but I don't think there's any way safely to do it.
Really?
But if you want access to the roof, you will have to stay there.
Really? There's no way back in.
No, not at night. We do not leave the doors open at night.
So you're going to bar the door,
Yes.
even the roof door.
Is that how? So they don't.
Well, they're spirits. I don't think they need legs.
Yeah, and I'm just sorry. You barred the doors. Does everyone do that?
Everyone locks everything at night. Yes. We
So have
do
they
not
been?
want them inside.
So have they been known to get in before? Because no one said they come in. They say they stay outside.
We have taken every precaution that we have available to us to prevent them from entering.
Okay.
Do you shut shutters on the windows?
The front ones at the street level, yes.
Mm.
Yeah, street levels.
Do you have a balcony?
Well, that's why I was going to go on the roof. So my idea is I have a rope. I think I have like random crap. I'd like to tie a rope around me and go on the roof and watch it that way. Because they say they take them, and if I get dragged, you just pull the rope. Like ding, 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 pull me back in, type thing.
If you want to do that,
I'll not have you unnecessarily risk your life for that.
I just want to see one. I want to see if we can talk to one. And I don't know how to do that.
if we're going tomorrow, we'll probably find Minnie.
We need to cast Yrden. Oh wait, no, this isn't The Witcher.
Yes.
The magic trap spell,
magic
and then
trap.
the geist won't be able
Well,
to go
I
through.
do have magic traps.
Do you have are they just traps that are magical, or things
They
that trap
are-
magical things?
No, that's it's a trap that's associated with my arrows.
Okay.
That is a
Well,
magical
I have
thing.
Moonbeat. It doesn't help.
Yeah, non-magical ammunition on the ground, and lay magic upon them to protect an area. And
I'd
then-
prefer that we didn't have one of our party risking their lives before we even get to the bottom of everything.
Fine. As long as we could go see him tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
I assure you that we will probably see them tomorrow.
Well, really Maze really wanted to go up there. Like, hi,
do we have to do
crap, you're coming after me. Toll the dead, run away.
Do you have to do perception
Banishment.
or persuasion against Maze?
Do you want them to have
Oh,
to?
I was
yes.
gonna say.
Yes, let's
Okay.
see. Persuasion roll. Do you have to roll against that?
So it's insight.
I would say
Well,
roll again. Roll your d20. You first.
Okay.
mhm.
What'd you get?
17.
Okay.
And then add your charisma to it.
My charisma is
+6.
3. Oh, is it +6?
Yeah.
Mm,
Saving throws. Your
Is-
charisma is a +6.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you guys roll persuasion rolls against her.
Mhm.
So here's your 23.
Mhm.
So in essence,
18.
you're rolling your charisma as well.
Don't you get like a plus?
Mine's a negative
Mhm.
on persuasion.
What'd you get?
No, being around Cal.
No, that would be for a save,
Oh.
and I'm just not gonna mess with it. I'm gonna cast command.
Oh.
Oh. What's the?
Okay,
what are
so
the
so
specifics?
you would have
Yeah.
won. So
Yeah, but, okay, so I would have
Yeah.
won. You guys would have pursued me not to, and Cal knows me. He probably
Yep.
sees me trying to think of a way
So
of doing it.
are you still adamant on going prior to your command?
Oh, wait.
Is your
so,
intention?
you
still
would
to
have
go?
won.
Yeah.
You would have won the persuasion.
You let's say
Yeah.
you won right now. Is
Okay.
your intention still to go?
Yes, I probably
Okay.
would have tried to go.
So now you have to make a roll, d20 wisdom, and your target is 13.
That was 89.
+1.
Wait, plus wisdom? Or
Yeah.
Plus your
so
wisdom.
it's not a saving throw, right?
It is a save.
Oh, it
It
is
is
a
a
save.
save,
So it is 13.
It is 13.
So you just hit, which
Mhm.
means you
I-
just shrug it off.
No, is it? Because I thought it Matt, like if it
It's
were
the
Matt,
same as if you if the
But he's
if
casting
the
it.
if the
Mhm.
mark is to if your AC is 13
Yeah.
and I'm trying to attack you, if I hit 13 I hit you.
Yeah.
So if you hit 13 you succeed.
Okay, because I thought it was for his. Like, so at 13, that means I would still be under his.
At 13 that means you win.
Okay,
Mhm.
So you
Yeah.
were still going.
Can do whatever you want.
I'm still gonna.
He says-
try.
Stop.
Yeah.
And you
I would just be like,
you
don't.
feel this kind of like energy kind of like grab onto your mind almost,
Mhm.
and you're like, I should probably no,
I tried.
I'm going. And you just
Kale,
kind of
you
are back
told
to
me
yourself.
to be my own person and not to follow. I
Okay.
am wanting to do this.
All right.
Okay.
Are we gonna let her go by herself?
Means we have to keep going here. So
I'm not.
So you are
Don't think we
led
should-
up to a ladder into an attic.
Do I
You-
feel the weight in my pouch still? The usual weight? Ever since getting out of
Roll
jail?
that just to see. Yeah.
18.
No.
No. Coral, where are you?
Do I hear him call for Coral?
Were you two going with her? She went
I wasn't.
anywhere
No.
near the area,
Okay,
or
so I call
Nope.
him.
then no, you did not.
I don't hear him.
No.
Okay. I'm being led up.
Where are you at when you say that? Just
Where
in the
were we at when we were
hallway,
having the
or
discussion?
Kind of where?
Kind of on the second floor, almost to the roof.
Yeah, ish. So near your rooms, your door opens.
Okay.
And Coral pokes her head out.
Okay.
And just kind of looks at you.
I'll just hand the sword to her.
The silver one.
Yep.
Huge.
Take this. Make sure our overly zealous friend in horns makes it through the night.
Up there?
Oh. Make a persuasion roll.
That one.
Really?
Mm.
It's
had-
actually pretty low.
I've had garbage rolls all night when it comes to persuasion.
Yeah. Gosh.
I will go with you.
Disappearing people out there.
The sword will protect you, Don't swing it. This is a lesson.
He kind of holds it up, and it is like, because you're in your rooms now, and it's just candlelight lighting this. And in this specific area, it's a little darker in the doorway, so it does actually kind of glow a little bit. Not as much as it would in full darkness, but does glow a little bit, just like. All right.
Sometimes to protect people, we need swords, but we need not swing them.
Walks away from you, like commanded basically by her superior, and just walks off, kind of shoulder slumped, but doing her duty as she's now seeing it. And right as you get out through a hatch that's in the top edge of the attic, probably in place there to clean the roof and stuff like that to keep this place looking nice. It's on the back side near the stable side. You're led up there, and right before the door shuts, you hear this.
And I'm following Coral.
And they stop shutting the thing. She kind of.
And I see her. Coral, what are you doing here?
I was told to keep you alive.
He sent you to do it.
Yes.
Well, I guess we better stay alive.
By the way, the whole time I'm sitting like by the hatch.
Yeah,
The barred hatch.
I'm right
I'm
next
like-
to the hatch too.
So you just plop down there. The two dwarves that do shut it, lock it, and bar it up behind stay there as well. And they are not imposing, not saying anything, not really making it obvious, but they're standing there so you guys don't go up. They are intending to be a barrier, though they are not soldiers or anything of that nature. They're just attendants here. But they are there with the intention of not letting anyone mess with that doorway. And they seem pretty stern on the matter. So, if either one of you two you're staying down?
Yeah, I'm staying down. I'm next
Either
to
one
Kale.
of you two want to fall asleep or anything like that, you can do so to just kind of bundle yourself back up. I don't think either one, well, you did a little bit with your lay on hand stuff.
Yeah.
Other than that, you guys haven't really done a whole lot, but if you want to shift it, you could shift it for the evening until something happens, or otherwise. You, however, need to be alert throughout the evening.
Yes.
So,
also during this time, Maze just looks at Coral, like, I'm sitting down. I'm not, like, making my purse, like, hey, guys, I'm up here. I'm, like, still being, like, I want to observe. Coral, I'm sorry for the way I've acted and treated you. I went through a dark time. I lost someone that I thought that I cared about again. But it turns out he didn't care about me. And I was really mean to you when you saved my life.
everybody's mean to me.
Not Kale. Kale
She
cares
looks at the
about you.
door like she's trying to see if it can hear her. Kind of dick sometimes.
He means well. He's like, this is weird, but he's like a father, which I really never had one. He's just there to make sure we do the right thing.
That's true.
And
So
I'm sorry you're here with me.
I'm trying to listen to everything out
Perception?
there. I did roll just that, and I got a 22.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to even pump it a little bit.
Yeah.
You actually heard it
Okay.
fairly clearly.
I'm not gonna repeat anything. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just listening.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much, I'm going to confide in Coral, because I don't know they're down there, about what happened in my past with Willem.
Everything?
Pretty much, like, this is real
Oh,
talk.
so I know everything.
No, not really not every little thing. Like, basically, I'm just gonna be like, when I was little, I had a best friend who was nice to me, and I lost him, and it was my fault. So I never wanted to be close to anyone again.
What happened to him?
I think you know.
Do you really think Coral knows?
I don't know. She
Does
probably
Coral
saw.
know?
Does Coral know? She was there at the battle.
And she just kind of looks at you like, what?
She really doesn't.
She might have seen it, but
She's
it probably
asking the
doesn't have
question.
context.
She's asking what?
She's still asking the question.
Okay.
The understanding isn't necessarily there.
Sadly, I had no control over my abilities. And that's why I want to heal people, not hurt them. I still don't know how to do it well. And that's why I'm afraid. And I'm afraid to make friends. And that's why I push you away. And
Well, I'm afraid of everything, so...
we should be afraid
I
together?
get that.
I'm trying to do the right thing, and I think I messed things up with Kale. I don't know how to make him trust me again, so I just won't.
I don't think he trusts anybody.
I'm sure he trusts you. He lets you stay close to him. That should be a great honor goal.
She just kind of nods her head. Make a perception roll.
Okay.
Actually, make a stealth roll first.
Okay. Well, at least that's an 18. Would it add dex for stealth?
There's a
Oh, wait, there's a stealth. Never mind.
There's a skill.
I think it is.
There
based
is a
on
skill.
dex, but it is a thing.
22.
You're fine.
I am liking this.
Uh,
Extra stealth.
Oh.
It's
Thank
a
you
blue
for-
square, that's why.
Thank you
Should've-
for the reminder there. I needed to remember that.
Oh man, am
little
I gonna
thing.
start a howl?
You're gonna do
Should have
something.
cast Pass Without a Trace
So-
on you.
Both of you are fairly quiet. The night is still young this time. Make your perception roll now.
16.
Okay. Coral is kind of looking like just past you and just kind of off into like the distance basically. She's kind of looking over more towards like the opening, the sky area, and you're kind of looking at
I'm
like,
looking
the
toward
roads.
the water. Yeah, the roads. I want to observe to see what they do.
Yeah, and you see the lights. Is the best way to describe it from this distance. They are still just quite obviously coming through, but it gets to a point where because of the tiering of the city here, you don't quite see the overarching band of them anymore. It does seem to kind of disperse a little as it comes into the city, and the city does widen from the dock area. You do notice a couple figures kind of go up this like cliffside area, and the only reason you notice them is because it's such a dark space there, and the cliffside is the edge of where kind of overlooking the docks, and then there's a point that kind of juts out above that and then kind of comes down and meets with the water from there quite a ways up, probably a good at least 100 feet up. So it almost is like on the same level as where you are now, but its entrance point to the path to it is down by the water.
Okay.
And there's like this kind of large like shack type building that's just really out of place here, that's sitting right up there on that. And you do see two of the ghostly figures go up there and circle around it, and as they're circling around it, the windows kind of light up like this kind of bright like firelight.
Okay.
And then kind of fade back down, and the figures are gone from up there.
Okay.
Then let's see how much time has passed. Okay. Make a Constitution roll.
What's it? 19? Would that be a save or just a general con?
Save.
Okay. 21.
You start to feel kind of tired, and you just kind of nod off a little bit as you're just watching this very methodical pattern.
Because it would be very relaxing,
Yeah.
just like lights dancing.
Exactly, and you just kind of start to get a little sleepy, and then you kind of like come back to, and after a few hours of time, you notice, just carry over the perception previously, you notice off from one of the alleyways, just kind of looking off to the right. Figure floats past there, kind of glowing in this bluish light and floating with kind of like some kind of like skirting or armors like tabard or something like that that's kind of tattered at the bottom of it, and just floating in that space. In that brief moment, you notice just kind of long wispy hair kind of flowing behind the glowing kind of blue ethereal light, and these long kind of gaunt features, just very like as it passes through the alleyway. Are you turning and looking at the other direction, trying to kind of follow it, or keeping your eyes out for other stuff?
Let's see. I just noticed it briefly, right?
You noticed it like you're looking this way and it went like this, just a couple buildings away.
I'll just keep it in my peripheral and keep looking at other stuff.
So now make another perception roll for me.
Okay. Oh wow, that was a 2. 6.
Okay. You continue to sit there, and actually I'll give a shot with Coral. She rolled a straight 6, which means it's like a 9-ish or something. But
we're just getting a little sleepy.
Continue to feel just that kind of drowsiness keep trying to take you over. That feeling of almost like, which I know this all too well, you've stayed up for like 36 hours straight, and then you try to drive somewhere at night, and you're just like, oh no, I got to keep on the wheel, kind of thing. Like that feeling of like, I'm really trying hard, but I keep drifting a little bit.
Yeah.
And actually, conveniently, no. Coral seems like wide awake, like super awake, and like just drink 6 cans of cola kind of thing, and it's like just like watching stuff. And now make another perception roll after a couple more hours have passed. Oh god,
sad face.
Okay, so again, I'll give you one more shot with Coral's perception. Okay, so
I think Coral's with me and no one else.
You're starting to think that maybe they don't come up this far. Maybe that one was just a random one. And you've been continually looking kind of towards the east this whole time.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out how far they come out, when they come out, what they do, and when they go back.
Yep. And turning, you see Coral kind of turn around and just go, and she like holds the sword up really fast, and it kind of like lights the area up right around you guys.
Okay.
Right as a hand is about to grab you, and you see the hand just kind of like starts to dissipate a little, and then it's pushed back away from you, and you are currently fully half circle surrounded by a significant number of them.
Okay. Can I do Toll the Dead?
You can.
Whoops. My thing's that's crazy. Oh my gosh, come on right there. Let's see. Point at a creature, the sound of the bell. I gotta pick one.
Yeah, so you can do that if you want to.
Yeah. What is it? The target must succeed a wisdom saving throw or take 1d8 necrotic damage. Let's see if that would be a better one.
And I will say at this moment you do see a couple of them, I'd say 3 or 4, that do stand out a little bit more.
So they're just floating around us. They're not standing on anything.
A couple of them are standing on the actual structure, like just looking at you, and there's others that are floating. The 4 that stand out more so are floating.
Yeah, I would say out of like just Toll the Dead. Like that's just out of a shock thing. Like I'm not even going to think about it as a player.
Perfect. So if you're doing it, then whichever one you've aimed it at succeeds.
Yeah, probably the one, oh really? The one that would grab me and be like,
Yeah, sure. So if the target must succeed on a wisdom throw or take 1d8 necrotic damage. It rolled 14. Your wisdom save on it is a 12.
Okay. It says if the target is missing. Oh, it's not missing.
Yeah.
Not to your knowledge.
Okay.
So you just go, "Ah!" and you kind of release this energy at it.
Do we hear the sound of the bell?
It is the sound of the bell that like
Fills
rings
the
out.
air around it for a moment. I have understood it before is no, but
Well, now there's a
Yeah.
commotion going on up there.
do perception rolls, both of you, to see if you do notice it from your
God.
lens.
19.
Oh, I know what I wanted
9.
to do. Crap! It was turn undead, not toll the dead. Yeah, well.
This moment, they're still just kind of around this like orb of light, just kind of like reaching.
Well, because turn undead is an action that I present in each undead that can see or hear me within 30 feet.
Yeah, you want to try that?
That's the one
I'm
I
over
wanted
here.
to do.
I'm over here like
Must make a wisdom saving throw.
like she's saying totally undead, and I'm like, she means Terran. But
Yeah, I
we're
did
gonna
mean-
go with it.
Yeah, turn undead.
Maybe
So-
she knows better.
You do you.
So are you taking back the toll?
No, we're
In the
just gonna
dead?
roll
No,
it.
I would still do the toll out of
Okay.
a shock
Okay,
thing, and then
perfect.
be like, "Oh wait, no, that isn't. No, it's turn undead, not toll." So yeah,
Okay.
like I was tired. I rolled a 1, so
Perfect.
that's why I'm like I'm sticking with that.
Yeah, okay. The reason I ask is because I know that Mr. Kalstrats wants to hear it. So if you hadn't
she
done
does it, yeah.
Okay, so you've done that.
She does it because it's a panic.
I rolled a 9.
Okay, yeah, you don't hear it. You do hear it, Kale, but it is dull and muffled. It just sounds like some bells in the city are going off.
But when
This
it's like,
hour.
well, I guess it's.
It sounds like bells in the city. I'm kind of
Okay.
giving you this one because
Okay.
it's really more of like the sound happens inside their head.
in their head.
But
Okay.
yeah, I'm kind of giving you guys this one. So
Okay.
I'm just
it sounds
gonna
like
bang
bells
on
in the
the
city.
I'm gonna bang on the door.
So you do have 2 figures standing between you and the ladder to get up to that.
Mhm.
What are you gonna do with them?
I'm gonna use my bow. Like when he starts going, I'll use my bow to hit the top.
You're just trying to get over them a little bit.
Yep.
Sure, that's pretty creative.
So I
It
know
is
where
a
they're
long
trying,
bow,
but-
so it's roughly your height, which means you
I'd
can
be
get
hit it with 10
So
feet, and they're
How
dwarves.
many like succeed and fail? Because that is all of them within 30 feet.
so
It says if it fails its saving throw,
What's the-
it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any
what's
damage.
the thing?
A
DC?
turn. Oh wait, the DC.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Does it say? Because it's my channel divinity.
At the very least, should be like your standard like spell DC.
Oh goodness. Let's see here. Oh, where is it? Oh, come on. I'm trying to not click on the wrong thing here. That's destroy. Oh, wait. No.
Cleric spell save DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's that at?
I'd love to be able to tell you.
I was like, I'm
What's
not
your
seeing it.
regular spell
Which is
save?
my regular spell save.
I believe it's 13.
12 is the
Depending
same
on your-
DC
Yeah.
plus 1 modifier or spell
So
attack.
then it's 13.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah, it's-
Because this wouldn't be a spell attack, would it?
not really.
Okay. So it's 13.
So
Yeah.
13. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, sure, that's a good number. 13's a good number. So 9 of them turn and leave.
Okay.
There are still 4 of them in front of you. The 4 floating kind of more standout ones of them are still floating around you and Coral currently.
Well, that answers that they are undead.
Well, they're ghosts. What else would they be?
I know. Well, you never know.
It's like they could
'Cause
be.
it could be.
Oh, I
They
see.
could
You're out
be
there to just
They could
determine
be
that.
primal spirits of
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
So that's why she was doing that.
Thought you guys already
Just-
cracked it.
Right.
Someone
Right.
wasn't completely convinced.
No.
We did, didn't we?
However, when an undead
They
fails
saw.
its saving throw against my turn undead feature, it is instantly destroyed if its CR is lower than the threshold at my level.
What?
What's it's so okay? So your level is 7. You're a
yeah,
level
7.
7,
Yeah.
and the challenge rating would have to be.
That's what that is, challenge rating. Okay.
Yeah. Where is it on here? It should be right, like literally right there. I don't know why it's not.
It's weird because it's like
Oh,
as
there
I
it is.
leveled up, it added these little like this, if this, then this.
Okay, so yeah, then they don't flee, they just disappear. They dissipate into this kind of mist that then just rises up into the night.
So I mean that's pretty much because that was my move, and then there's still some here. So it's like okay, they're undead.
What are you two doing?
Oh, I'm gonna be
So you
knocking.
knocked on the
I knocked
thing.
on this. Is everything all right up there?
Okay, you holler that. Just telling him that and kind of waiting.
Yeah, I'm just kind of readying for
Maze, you would hear
a
that.
tussle.
Okay.
What is your response?
The undead can float. They don't need the ground. They're up here.
No.
You guys hear that?
Let us through, please. Little.
We can't do that.
Yes, you can.
No, we cannot.
On pain of what? Well, you get fired.
One of them just does that. The other, a little more composed in the moment. That's one issue, yes. If such happens, then how do you expect me to feed my children?
Okay, well, how about this? You don't let us through, and we're going to have a little discussion with the warden about how you interfered with our business.
About how we
For
followed
him.
the warden's instructions to not open the doors in the middle of the night that were directly given to us.
Mm-hmm.
Because your individual of your group wanted to go outside and sit on the roof in the middle of the night, specifically to see these things.
Right, because we're on an investigation to end it. For the warden. For
Maybe
you.
You should have picked a different location to do this investigation. Attempt like a persuasion or something.
Yeah. Oh no, he's not.
I don't even know if you have a high enough.
He's
bonus to
not.
hit
Oh, I mean, I've got
that.
a
You
plus
actually
5
have-
on
you have
persuasion.
Exactly a high enough bonus to hit what it would be if you wanted to persuade him.
Okay.
Just so you're aware.
And follow up for Maze for
Which
battle.
means you have to get a natural 20 to actually persuade him.
How many times can you do a cantrip?
Forever.
I have Sacred Flame cantrip. It says at will.
You can literally once per turn just poof, 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 and that's your
That's
action.
basically what Maze is going to
Like
do.
a cantrip. A
remain.
cantrip is your action in essence. It's
Yeah.
a free spell.
Essentially, that's what she's going to do to the ones remaining. Just so you know,
Wow.
like why they're doing this.
Yeah.
That's how I'm trying to keep this.
Okay.
Because it will do radiant damage.
I highly suggest that if you want your children to be able to enjoy a night out in their entire life, unlike you and your grandparents and your parents,
And your grandparents.
that you move out of the way and let a professional handle this.
Make your persuasion roll. You have to roll for it on this one. You'll have
Oh,
to.
no
roll
matter
for
how
it
good
on
it
this.
is, you have to roll.
Unless you're issuing command or
Okay.
something else.
Alright. It
Maze,
was a natural 20.
they're not letting us through.
I mean, I'm Sacred Flaming.
So you're just
Mhm.
Yep, just Sacred Flame.
okay.
On that one, it is a attack of Dexterity 12.
Okay, so save is
Yeah,
12
save,
DC.
yeah.
Okay, so one gets hit. What's the damage on it?
Let's see. It's 60 feet, and then you gotta take a 1d8 radiant damage.
Mhm.
Oh gosh. It's like, I have a d8 somewhere. There it is.
What?
I rolled a 4.
I didn't
I
know
just-
this stuff. So,
No, I was just
uh,
looking at it. No, wait. Sorry, 2d8. It's the
Oh,
weird
because you're
thing.
higher level.
Yeah.
We should have been up there on that roof with her.
That'd be 10.
No. I was expecting her to not be an idiot.
Well, sounds like she idiot.
I sent Coral up there to keep her from being an idiot.
And
Gordo, are you
4?
okay?
It was actually a 10 because I have
Okay,
to roll
that's
2.
right.
Yeah.
Gordo?
Okay.
There's these things up here, but they can't get past the barrier.
So that's where I
Come
know the
closer
barrier
to the
thing,
door.
I'm just like giving them.
She's okay. So she steps over the door.
Okay. I cast Misty Step and teleport past him. Fuck him.
Oh.
Perfect.
Okay.
Not to be a dick to you, but I want to just read it to make sure
Yeah.
it's actually possible to like go through a
Yeah.
thing. I
No,
think it is.
just-
I just want to make sure.
Past them to the door
Oh, I
to
see.
unlock it, to unlatch it, break any locks I need to, and get them
'Cause,
inside.
Yeah, Coral basically, when she moves, I move with her because she's my barrier.
An unoccupied space that you can see. So yeah, sure, you can
Yeah, just
teleport the 10 feet to the top there.
Mhm.
And then there's a bar and a lock.
Mhm.
So make a strength roll.
Okay.
Kind of
And
like
if-
an unarmed strike, basically.
And if one of the dwarves try to go
But it's not really
up to
like punching
him,
through it, it's just kind of
I'm
like
gonna
that.
attempt to. If they try to go up to him and mess with him, I'll restrain at least one of the dwarves if they attempt.
Not frost breath.
What?
The dwarves?
Okay.
No, not the door.
Oh, the door.
To make it
Oh,
brittle,
okay.
to make the
Freeze
lock
and then
brittle.
Okay,
Yeah.
so frost breath that. So okay, so do the
Yeah.
strength thing first for the bar, just to make
Yeah.
it, just to wiggle it out of its position.
Yeah.
It's fairly strong in there.
Is it plus my save?
It's plus 5, whatever you rolled.
Okay.
That's your strength bonus.
Yeah. 10.
It's actually exactly what you need. So you just kind of toss that out of the
Sorry.
way, and wow, that took a long time to land. Thankfully, both of them don't get hit by it, but they do turn and like start to kind of like grab. No! You can't get
I'm
up there.
gonna
And they're
grab
trying to
one
pull
of
down.
them and hold them back.
Okay, so for that it is a grapple. So you make a grapple roll, which is strength. It's a
Jesus.
strength contest in essence. So what'd you roll?
I rolled a 4 plus 3.
So he kind of just like kicks you off of
Yeah.
him as you're kind of like grabbing at his like
Yeah.
ankle or whatever too. He just kind of like kicks you away from him, and I guess I should roll their strengths on what they're going to accomplish here. And Kale, roll to resist them grappling you, basically. Strength, so a roll plus your strength bonus.
Mhm.
Did you roll 1?
No.
Did you roll 20?
No,
Did you just roll
natural
good?
20. Yeah, just
Okay,
roll
natural 20? Okay.
So it's saving throw plus 2, so 21.
Okay, yeah. So they actually did roll pretty well, but you're able, they hinder you, but you're able to kind of shrug away from them. You kind of kick one down off the bottom of the ladder, and now are using your frost breath to weaken the lock. Because what you'll basically be doing here, instead of trying to pick the lock, is you'll be attempting to weaken it and then physically break
Bust it,
basically. Let me read your frost breath real quick here. That is under your features and traits, right?
Yeah.
Racial traits, draconic ancestry, breath weapon.
Mhm.
It's not really going to be able to save against it, but I want to see how much damage it has done to it. So roll 2d6, because it's basically an auto fail because it can't get out of the way. It's a door.
Yep.
Wait, depending on what
I don't
level.
know,
I mean,
man.
technically,
Can you hit
people
the
indoors.
broadside
3d6
of the
is
door?
6. So it's not a. Is it a spell or is it a thing you do at
It's
your
a
level?
thing I do.
So that actually means you would roll 3d6.
Yeah.
Because you're over 6 level.
Yeah. Seven.
7. Okay.
Mhm.
And then now make a. You could use a weapon if you want to, but just
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
attack
I'm gonna-
against this. To do
I'm gonna
damage
just
on
get
it.
like a hatchet.
Okay.
I'm gonna just magic hatchet,
Magic Hatchet. Sounds like the name of a book or something.
and then let me just find the hatchet stats.
Or the next ICP.
Do your roll, I'll find it. Real quick.
Okay.
Unless you already have it on there.
I don't. X. Yeah, you find it.
Yeah.
Wait.
And of course, like
actually, it's probably not even that.
It's hand axe +1, so it's 1d6 on the damage. Did you roll over a 5?
Total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a door. It's a door. So So
I'm trying to hit a lock.
So a hand axe +1, because we said we're going to use just the regular +1 stats for night, is 1d6 of damage.
Plus my strength.
Yeah.
9.
Okay, yeah. So you almost didn't even need to do your frost breath thing. You just, and the whole thing just.
Well, I was just trying to get the lock.
Conveniently, you were aiming for the door based on everything we had said back and forth. So you have broken this door.
I said I was going to try to brittle up and break the lock.
It's frost breath. It's not frost breath.
Right. But I was like,
so you've frozen a lock and a
try
door,
to break the
and then
lock.
you hit the lock that's attached to the door. It's embedded into it.
Yeah.
So you've broken this door open. And
it's okay. I thought it was like a padlock. Okay.
No, it's a locked situation. It's a very nice establishment. And so now there's no door here. And you have access to the outside.
All right.
What will you be doing?
But why am I doing
Get in here. This whole thing, if that would have been actually described, I wouldn't have done any of this.
I tried to attempt communication by like secretly meeting them, like, what do you want? And then secretly
Like, no response from the
okay.
spirits.
That's what I was just trying to see if they're intelligent. When the door opens, we go, Coral?
Coral is like already kind of like looking down at Kale, like waiting for him to say something because the last word she got was that. So she just jumps in and lands on his shoulder and still holding the sword up. And then you guys all kind of drop down.
Can I cast a mend on the door?
What size can mend?
Oh, let's see. Mending.
So if there's a break or tear an object you touch, this is a broken chain.
No larger than 1
foot.
foot.
Key. Yeah, this would be.
It's destroyed.
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3 feet. Probably 2 feet square, really, unfortunately, because it has to be big enough for a person to get through, and 1 foot square is only going to be like a head.
Yeah, gotcha.
So it's probably 2 to 3 square.
Are there any crates around? Like, is this a storage area?
Yeah,
I'm just looking for something to grab.
Make an investigation
and
roll.
then put up there to make it into work.
But theoretically, it is.
So what kind?
Investigation.
Investigation. Oh man, it's a -1. 16.
It was a 10. So yeah, so there's tons of boxes up here.
Because I have a hammer on me, because why
Sure.
not? I have
and in this moment, the dwarves are like, "What have you done?" And
I'm like, let's make a door
they're like
now.
just kind of backing away, like knowing what is out there.
Yeah.
And Coral still holding this sword up over her head and is actually creating a barrier there.
Yeah.
And
Coral, keep holding that sword up while we put up something.
Okay.
All right, I'll knock arrows, and if anything comes in sight,
they are very much in sight.
Okay,
there
I'll
are
start
3 or 4 of them just right over the space there, and you can see kind of like a hand come up between that, and there's just starting to billow over this space, which means that Coral is going to have to be strong, and she's actually not very strong right now. So are you shooting at these things then? Okay. Go ahead and make an attack at one of them.
That is a 16 to hit.
16 does hit. I was trying to see if it had. Oh, it does. There we go. Okay.
And let's see here. So the one that I see had been hit by another by Maze?
I mean, I've been like
I'm getting the vibe that these
dead.
Oh, already dead. Okay.
They're like gone. I mean, they were already dead. But...
I did 5 points of damage.
Okay. Yep. So you hit it, and it just kind of like, and it just keeps doing its thing, trying to push down on this to get through.
Like push down on the light?
The light, basically, yeah. So they're able to come into contact with it. They're just not able to pass through it. So they are just, and they're just kind of like clawing at it.
All right, so
but Coral It's kind of just like it kind of starts to come down a little bit.
I
So you're
assist
grabbing it
Coral.
down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still
I'm grabbing it.
So make a strength roll. Are you taking it over yourself?
Mhm.
Okay. So make a strength roll with advantage.
Thank God.
Was it 1?
Yeah, it was a 1, but
But now it
With
is
advantage.
10. Yeah.
So close. Needed to hit a 10. So just because like this is your first go at it, basically.
Yeah.
So you're holding it up, the two of you. Now what are you doing? Are you still firing off? Are you still
Secret
looking?
plan?
Yeah.
'Cause I know it works.
Is anyone going to
so-
patch this
Yes.
thing?
Oh yeah.
So,
What
yeah.
the? Why?
You're right,
Why
yeah.
were you looking for
Yeah,
a box and then
I
just
would've been
flames?
building,
What?
That's right. He was doing that, so I would have been actually
I'll-
with my
Okay.
hammer.
So you're
I'll
shooting.
shoot another one. Yeah.
Okay, so you shoot.
I'm-
You are
Patch.
making a thing basically. So.
But your doors are supposed to be so handy.
What even would that be to
Oh, to make
build
something?
something basically?
I mean, I don't know. There's survival because I'm trying to
You're
survive.
trying to survive.
No.
I'm fine with that actually.
I'm trying to
Just
survive.
do it because otherwise it's like a performance, which doesn't make much
It's
sense.
just a
22.
Okay, yeah. So on this round, basically, you have found all the materials you've needed to do this, and you've gotten it most of the way together to build, like, to take the boards off and then use the nails in them to make it a solid thing that's the right size.
Yeah.
You're just about, like, halfway through getting it nailed together in those portions.
Just gotta last until day.
And so now we're back around. They're still just pushing down on it. And you can see it's just like this pile, like this bubble of these things coming down here now. So Kale, make another strength roll. I'll say again with advantage because of the weapon you're using and your like divine abilities.
Yeah. $24.
Okay, so you're still holding strong. It's not even really phasing you yet, but you do start to feel your muscles kind of tensing a little bit with the pressure that these beings are putting onto it.
Okay. Since there's more than 2 of them, I'm gonna go help Maze now.
Okay. So I will say when you get there, you complete it in your turn. And now, actually, survival, just in case you mess everything up somehow.
Oh God!
Stop.
Did
Why?
you roll a 1?
Why?
Yes.
Why? You're useless. Elendor, you've done nothing but make things
Can we say he
worse.
just trips and like
Yeah, trips, falls on it, and knocks off 2 or 3 of the boards that you had just nailed in his fall as he's like, I got this! And just screws it up. So now...
Coral, go help her build.
Okay.
There's nothing you can do here.
Jesus.
Coral tries to start picking up some of the boards, and it's like... And she kind of just like throws some of them back over there. Helped-ish.
yeah.
But not very much.
She brought him closer.
Yeah, she made the ones that were slung about closer, and that's all she
Can I
accomplished.
do?
really.
I have a torch. Can I give it to Coral? And I basically like a torch, light this, and see if that helps.
Sure, as a free action, you can just toss it to her, and then that's pretty much it. But then you're down onto the thing.
Yeah, because I'm
again.
just like here, and then
Yeah,
I don't
doing
know if
yeah,
that'll
just
help.
like here,
Because I
and
see
then
she's trying to like lift.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
These are pretty heavy.
and so then do another survival because we have no other real reasonable thing here.
At least it wasn't a 1.
To 10.
10. Okay, so yeah, you complete it. You come back from what he had messed up, and you get it completed.
Stay back, break a door.
And Kale, one more strength roll, again with advantage.
15.
So you're starting to drop a little bit now on this one.
Yeah.
But we are in the same round here because they were first, so they're just still pushing down. So you've started to drop now. There's a little bit of a gap from where the bubble comes up to that space. Even with your height,
Gentlemen.
it's just like,
Gentlemen, if you value your lives, you probably should help.
no persuasion just because I want to see what happens with it. I kind of just want you to get a good persuasion for the evening.
No, it's 11.
Can I just
I'll make
go
it
over
a
like
contest.
just do what he said?
I'll make it like a contest thing just to see.
I mean, like, maybe I should have advantage because it actually is life or death for them.
So the one that was kind of actually more stern on not letting you through and not letting this be a thing actually just shoves the other one out of the way and does come over and grabs the thing with you and potentially with you as well if you've stood up to bring it up. So most of the way there,
I'm going to actually help Kale hold up the sword.
Okay. Okay.
For that and fail.
Okay. Roll strength on just you.
20.
Natural 20.
Really?
Which is actually what it needed to be initially for you to hold up in the first place. So you do kind of seal it back off, and they're the ones that kind of put their hands around, like it's like looks like it broke basically, and kind of mists off afterwards, and then reforms kind of above it as they're going back again at it. And Maze, now it's you, with the assistance you have now to put the thing in place. Yes. So we'll say that getting it up there is whatever, that just happened on his turn. And now to affix it into place is yours. We'll just stick with survival because of the scenario we put in place here.
Oh, man. 8.
8?
Yeah.
It maybe
I probably like hit my
2
hand a
of
few
the corners, like maybe 2 corners, but you feel like you need to kind of get more, and then the other side still. And there is now a physical barrier in there, so let's see. Okay. So the creature's still pushed down, and then with advantage, Kale, roll your strength again, and because of everything involved, we'll keep it at the same DC there instead of increasing it again. They are increasing, but yet you have help now physically as well as a physical barrier somewhat in place. Unless you want to do some crazy paladin stuff.
That's like what kind of nonsense can I pull here?
Nuke.
Speak with animals. No, I'm just kidding.
Right? Yeah.
This has been the trick the whole time. No.
Just a bunch of like mud puppies, like all formed together.
That's actually all they are. They're actually
puppies.
completely harmless.
Yeah.
People just want to go with them.
They're very convincing.
Yeah. Oh my god, I have to make that an actual race.
Yeah, they're not
Basically
fey.
like
They're
a
not
kobold,
fey or
but,
fiend. They're just undead, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, actually, exactly. Based on the thing I'm using for their stats, yes, they are just undeads.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just over here just trying to make sure that there's no extra nonsense. No,
right,
I can't.
yeah.
No,
like
it's
explosive
just
sunlight or something of that nature.
Ray of light.
Yeah.
I mean, I could
I don't
moonbeam, but then that would burn everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Which 2 people are specifically in front of it. And to hit the point straight up and down, that means it'd be you guys as well.
Yeah, it's a 5-foot radius that we would
Up and
like.
down
We'd
and
all be just getting washed in it.
The only one that would be fine, Coral and the guy that was just kind of a smart ass with his hands.
Yeah.
I'm resistant to fire.
It's not
Helpful.
fire.
Not in this instance.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh no.
What are you doing?
Everyone get out of the way. And I'm going to try to... Can I do both?
Which both specifically?
I'm trying to hold up the thing and cast Moonbeam.
Like kind of through it type of thing? Almost like you're going and then from your hands up kind of thing?
Yeah.
I just like the flair of that. So yeah.
Like as I'm closing it up, the Moonbeam comes down, I tell everyone to get out of the way.
Yeah.
So I need to do a dex.
I'll actually say that just overall, like, you have enough control of it in the instance that it's like the floor is your hands, basically.
Yeah.
So that's the bottom of the moonbeam. It's not going to go through you kind of thing because you're the creator of it.
Even
so
if
you're
it
sending
does.
it up as opposed to sending it down. So
Well, it does come down. Like it shines down in a 5-foot radius.
let me give
Yeah,
you
but
this
if it's going straight
1.4.
down, it's going.
Because
So the wood is not going to stop it. It's going to break the door that we just made.
You're gonna break the door.
It's designed
Okay.
for living creatures, basically.
Yeah.
This is.
Yeah.
It's not like you wouldn't use Moonbeam to try. He wouldn't have used Moonbeam to
it's-
try to get through the door in the first place. That wouldn't work.
No.
So no, it's not going to affect the physical structure.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out,
Just
so,
the-
like, technically, we're still hammering it, so we can't see him. If he casts this, is it going to be inside,
So he's
or is it
stepping
going to
up
drop down from
and kind
above?
of he's stepping up and telling you guys to jump off
Mhm.
of the thing. So you have the ability to say no and just stay there if you want to, but in essence, he's taking over the holding it up aspect of things.
Mhm.
May as well listen.
Okay, and the other guy as well. He's like, okay, as soon as you start to as soon as you get your first hand on it, he's just like, all right, and you're kind of still holding the sword here.
I'll be ready
You
to
can
see
jump
your
your hand.
I'm jumping out of the way.
Someone hold the sword.
So you'll take over the
okay.
sword,
I'll just,
and then you're holding that up.
Okay.
To start with, do the strength check. Just
20, dirty
So
20.
I'm saying, I see where you're going with that, so perfect. And then now do your roll for the moonbeam, or if I have to do a roll, let me know what it is.
It is
Just ready to secret play.
Constitution
All day.
13,
Okay.
and I have to roll it because I
Yep.
might actually fall into it.
Yep. So yeah, well, because you're insistent, it's going to go all the way through. And wow. Okay. So what did you roll? So I can add it into the.
So my
description.
save?
Yeah. What was your save? Did you save or not?
23.
So you're good. So as Caleb Stratz steps up here, dropping the sword into your hands and pushing up on this, it actually sets into place two of the other nails kind of at like the halfway point, and then just this beam of light just kind of radiates from him and just shoots through the space and hits down through below into the floor as well, and just alights the whole area in this like bright moonlight. Because I like flair and flavor, Maze, make a wisdom save.
dear.
And you, Kale, notice that as soon as you launch this off,
Add 2 to it.
the weight that was pushing down just lightens up above you. You can still hear some like on top of it, but nothing is actually pressing all the way through. You grab out your hammer, which is a war hammer, but it still functions as a hammer, and just slam in the other few nails that are on there, and it is now sealed back up to the best of your ability.
May rolled a dirty 20.
Okay. So you kind of get dizzy as soon as this whole thing happens and like fall down to one knee, and then just feel like you've got this kind of headache happening, but you kind of come back to and clear your eyes and just look around. Like, what was that all about? Because you were out of the moonbeam.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And you saw that happen as well. But yeah.
Is it half damage on a save?
Is it? If it is, then you very likely didn't have it.
Yeah, half as much on a successful save.
What was the total damage?
Well, let me
Just out of
roll.
curiosity, just to see if any of them are still up there.
Let me roll.
1,000,000 dice.
10.
Okay.
10 is total. But I take half. And then it's half again because I have resistance to all types of spell damage.
nice.
I only
It's
take
2. Yeah. Nice, cool. So yeah, it is sealed as best as you can tell. The dwarf that did end up helping you sits down, just like, oh, I need to go somewhere else. He just gets up and walks off. The younger one is just kind of like staring at you guys, and then also just turns and walks away and doesn't even say anything. It's like he kind of wants to, but like he's got that look of like he's got a comment, but he just kind of swallows it and walks off. You guys have successfully sealed off the breach and rescued, per se, those that were on the roof in a interesting manner, and we'll see how that plays out next week.
Yay.
We're gonna
Because it has
have
been
a talk.
a very long episode today. So,
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you guys for
Not
sticking it out.
problem.
I thought that was kind of interesting there at the end. I liked the oh gosh kind of situation that we ended up in.
Yeah, I was like,
So,
Oh, Maze,
yeah.
no.
if it was
But we
described
ended up
that
coming
way.
out of it for
The
better.
dice don't.
Not really much of a for worse than that, but for better.
I took 2 damage. Like that was it.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's okay.
That was
Overall.
the that was the encounter.
Yeah,
I
so-
broke a door.
Anyways, thank you those of you that
I cast
stuck
2
it out
level
and came
2
watching throughout the whole episode this evening. We appreciate every single one of you that tune in each week. And congratulations again to the winner of the Reckless Deck giveaway, Noel Kittredge. So congratulations. I will be sending you an email. I'm thinking tomorrow now because I'm kind of worked out in this episode. But tonight or tomorrow you'll get an email from me. Just contact at RoleThis.com. And that will be sent out to you, and I'll get your shipping information to then forward that on to Reckless Deck so they can send out your complete set. But yeah, beyond that, we will see you guys next week. Till then, be good to each other. Adios.